boys, let's get it going here for another ribbon day, another ribbon weekend of rugby league action. Yes, sir. We got the early game here on Friday night. Hey guys, how you going? So BKR Sport, we are live as the Melbourne Storm are playing host to the North Queensland Cowboys in an interesting game between two teams that are obviously up there in the top 8 right now, up there in the top 6 currently. Obviously, the Cowboys very much thanking the Newcastle Knights for their comeback yesterday to keep them up there above. Actually, no, well, to be fair, they would have gone down to 7th and they would have been out of the top 6, but with that being said, they'd be very grateful because now, even if they lose, they don't go below Manly. They don't go below Manly after the nice little choke that they did have last night, man. But look, this game's going to be interesting. It is down there in Melbourne. They're not exactly a team this year, the Storm, that have been consistent. I think there was a stat before where they've really been struggling to win back-to-back games. And I'm going to quickly go and have a look at this now. Yeah, well, they haven't. Not that necessarily it's back-to-back games, but they have been quite inconsistent with it. You know, in round 1, sure, they whooped the Eels 56-18. They had a bye in round 2. They did beat the Panthers 30-24 in round 3. Lost to the Dragons 14-8 in round 4. Then they went and beat Manly. Then they went and beat the Warriors. But then they went and lost to the Dolphins despite being up 16-2 in that game. They went and beat the Rabbitohs. And then they lost to the Raiders. They went and beat the Tigers. Then they lost to the Sharks. Then they went and beat the Titans. And now they play the Cowboys. So actually, in their last few weeks, they had been very up and down. Since the Dolphins game, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. So this is actually technically on the loss column. This is technically on the loss column, considering that, yeah, look, I really don't know about the Melbourne Storm this year. You know, I tipped them for second. I thought they were going to be a very good team. They are still a very strong team on paper. They've just really going to have to start knuckling down and proving it. You know, showing that they are the consistent team that they aim to be there in the grand final last year. And I don't know. I just expected a lot better from the Storm this year. Whilst the Cowboys, they started off with like an 0-4 before they've gone a bit of a run to get themselves into the top 6. They've been attacking well comparatively. They're still not up there with the big time teams in regards to their attack. But, you know, they are getting back to a bit of their best work from a few years ago. So the Cowboys, they're just trying to work their way back up into the system, whilst the Storm, they're just trying to keep themselves consistent in the system. But let's get into the two-team lineups here for today, guys, before we do get into the chat. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new around here. Here we go. So the Melbourne Storm, they come to this game from 4th position. They are at Amy Park in Melbourne. And this is a big one for them to push themselves back towards where the Dogs are. The Cowboys, they come at this game from 6th position. Now the ins here for the Storm, Harry Grant and Xavier Coates, 2 massive ins, with the outs being Joe Chan and Sualaovi Farlongo. Go to the fullback, Little Puppy Ryan Pappenhausen. With the wingers, Grant Anderson and Xavier Coates. Centers are Jack Howarth and Nick Meaney. The 5'8" is Cameron Munster, with the halfback being Jerome Hughes. Front row forwards are Stefano Utuakamanu and Nelson de Solomona, with Harry Grant as the captain. He is also the hooker. Back row, Sean Bloor and Elias Katoa, with the 13 being Trent Loiero. Interchange is Josh King, Tyron Wishart, Tuikami Kamitha, and Ativalu Lisati, with the 18th man replacement being Bronson Garlick and Craig Bellamy as the coach. This spine, realistically, should just not be losing games. Like, it's an absolutely outstanding spine. It is an outstanding spine that should be doing better than what it's been doing. You know, overall, this Storm team just always seems to find a way in regards to having a quality team. You know, over the years that you're losing Cameron Smith, they find Harry Grant. You know, you're losing Cooper Cronk. You're finding Jerome Hughes, and even who was the one? Who was the one who went to the Dragons? And he was pretty decent. I can't remember his name. But, Munster comes in that 5'8". He was a fullback. You know, Billy Slater goes. They've found Ryan Pappenhausen. They had Nico Hines. They had Munster at one stage. Like, this team just always has a way of finding the quality to keep them up the top end of the table. So, yeah, look, this Storm team should be doing better. They really should be. And that's crazy considering they are still in the top 4. They are still in 4th position. They are coming off a win against the Titans last week. That was controversial. But at the end of the day, was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was last week. It was controversial, but still, the Titans made so many damn well errors, 16 plus errors, that it's like, yeah, sure, that Casey Badger call that she got demoted from, yes, that was ridiculous. However, the Titans were still their own worst enemies, and the Storm ended up winning that game, right? So you can't hat them too much for that, but just a lot needs to be proved, and they've got the team here to do it, even in places that you wouldn't imagine. Like Jack Howarth is a solid player. Grant Anderson is doing a good job there, and these guys aren't exactly well-renowned players in comparison on paper, right? Now, the Cowboys on the other end, they've got Carl Lawton and Thomas McHale, with the outs being Jake Clifford and Kai O'Donnell. The fullback is Scott Drinkwater, with the wingers Robert Dobie and Jackson Polo. Centers of Zach Labour and William Viliami Vailea. You go to the 5'8", which is Jackson Purdue. The halfback being Tom Dearden, who is the captain. Front row forwards are Jordan McLean and Sammy McIntyre, with the number 9 being Reece Robertson. John Bateman and Jeremiah Nene are the back row. Ruben Cotter is the 13, with the interchange Harrison Edwards, Griffin Neem, Cohen Hess, and Carl Lawton, with the 18th minute replacement being Thomas McHale. And Todd Payton is the coach. Like I said, been actually relatively... They've been a little bit all over the shop this season. And again, they started off really poorly, and they were like 0-4 at start. Actually, let's quickly have a look, a snapshot at their first half of the year. They lost to Manly, they lost the Sharks, they lost the Broncos, and they finally beat the Raiders in round 4. So they were 0-3, not 0-4. Then they finally beat the Raiders 30-20. Then they beat the Panthers 22-18. Then they beat the Rabbitohs 24-16, and then they beat the Titans after a bye 50-18. Before going and losing to the Warriors 30-26. They drew with the Panthers 30-30. They lost to Manly 24-6, and then they've obviously recently won their game 32-28. So in a way, they've actually been quite consistent with putting results together. All right. Because you look at the first 3 games, they lost those. And then they went on a 4-game winning streak before then going on a... you add the draw in here, whether you consider it a loss or a win. Obviously, it's not either of those things, but it is pieced together with not getting the full 2 points with the Manly and Warriors game where they both lost. So overall, they kind of have been having a clump of a season where wins, then losses / draw, and then you've got the win of the Tigers. So they are in their clump of wins potentially if you are going via that metric, and that goes as well alongside the Storm, who have been win-loss recently. So maybe you could be looking at the upset here, despite the fact it is down there in Melbourne. And I'm going to tip the Storm here. I do think the Storm should win. But the NRL is just upset season, man. It is upset season, left, right, good night. We saw it last night. Then again, every Thursday night game has been an upset so far this season. This season is just completely out of whack, and you're seeing some teams that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be up that top of the table. They are up there. They are crushing it. Teams like the Wars and even as much as the Raiders and whatnot. You know, there's a lot of surprises coming this year. So yeah, no, it's a bit all over the shop, but we love it. We absolutely love how it's going. But I am going to tip the Storm here at home. I think they should be too good. Now, in regards to the table here today, the Melbourne Storm, they come into this game from 4th position. They're on 18 points. They are the only team on 18 points. So considering there's a lot of clumps across the table right now, it's quite interesting that they're by themselves there. They've got a plus 147 points differential, which is massive. It's clearly, very clearly, the best points differential in the competition. So plus 74 is the second best, and that is the Dogs, who are obviously on top of the table. And plus 72 is the third best, which is the Canberra Raiders, up there in 2nd position. However, if the Storm win this game, they would jump the Warriors because they're on plus 5. Again, I'm telling you, your points differential is just simply not that great, Warriors fans. You need to fix that if you're going to maintain your spot, because one loss could really put you down. So the Storm would jump above them on points differential, but again, obviously the Warriors do play the Sharks tomorrow, and then they have the Raiders, who they would jump today, but the Raiders play the Rabbitohs, I think, on Sunday. So for the time being, Storm would go to 2nd. They would be 2 points behind the Bulldogs, who play the Eels on Monday, and they'd be keeping themselves up there in the race for that minor premiership. But with that being said, both the Raiders and the Warriors with wins would go back above them. So the highest they can finish this week is 2nd. They'd need a lot to go their way. But for the most part, they wouldn't obviously be dropping out of 4th position. Now, if they lose this game, the Sharks are on 16. That is the only team that could go above them, but it's just not going to be happening. So the Sharks, with their 16 points, are on plus 44, which is 103 points differential worse than where the Melbourne Storm are at. Storm are at plus 147. They're at plus 44. So even if the Storm lost this game by 50 and the Sharks won their game by 50, the Storm would still be above the Sharks points differential wise. So that is why points differential is so massive. And this is why it is so important to, when you get a chance to take down some teams down the bottom of the table, you've got to put them to the sword. You've got to score a bunch of points to really put yourself up to where the Storm are with their plus 147. So look, ultimately, they might actually just end this weekend in 4th again, regardless win or lose. Lose, they're not dropping off, but a win, I've got the Warriors. To be fair, I do think the Sharks win at Sharky Park. I do think the Sharks get that game. But again, it wouldn't... if the Storm won that game, then they'd go above the Wires. But I do have the Raiders to beat the Rabbitohs. So I think they'll finish off the weekend in 3rd position. But there is a high chance as well that they just stay exactly where they are in 4th position, regardless win, lose, or draw. Now, in regards to the Cowboys, they're on 15 points. A draw would put them back onto the same system as everybody else. The Storm would then go off it, and that would actually be beneficial to everyone except for the Storm. The Storm would never want to draw with their points differential right now. But the Cowboys on 15 points, they're minus 28 points differential. The only team they need to care about points differential-wise is the Panthers, who are down there in third last, so you don't need to worry about them right now. But if the Cowboys were to win this game, they would go above the Sharks for the time being. Again, Sharks play the Warriors tomorrow. They would go to 17 points, but again, the Sharks play. If the Cowboys lose, obviously Manly have already lost, so that wouldn't be coming into the equation. The Dragons play the Dolphins later on today, and if the Dragons were to win that, they would go above the Cowboys. The Roosters have had their bye, so don't worry about that. And the Rabbitohs, they play the Raiders. If the Rabbitohs beat the Raiders, then they would also go above them into 16 points. And this is why the Rabbitohs, with their points differential of minus 58, they're pretty grateful for that Cowboys. They're pretty grateful for that Cowboys draw, because their points differential is 30 points off of where the Cowboys are, but it doesn't matter because they would go above them based on the fact they only got that 1 point. So it really does throw a bit of a mess around when you do have a draw like that. And the Cowboys, look, I think they'd be pretty happy with it, considering they've got the minus 28 comparatively to all the other teams in the top 8, which is plus 44 for the Sharks, plus 42 for Manly, even plus 3 for the Dragons. You know, the Roosters in 9th position on minus 22. They also have a better points differential than them. Not too much, but, you know, the point is. And then, like, the Dolphins on plus 42, the Broncos on plus 14. So all these teams around them, and even the Panthers are on minus 13. Like, but they're on the same system. So the point of the matter is that the Cowboys would be actually quite happy, considering their points differential woes, that they do have that draw. So yeah, anyway, listen, I'm tipping the Storm here at home. I do think they should be too strong, but we should be absolutely used to upsets by now. It is upset season all over the place. But alright guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Hopefully this is a good game. We didn't expect yesterday to be a good game, but it ended up being an absolute bolter. Ended up being an absolute bolter, son. But alright, let's get this live chat. Open it up. Let's see. Alright, so Olivia Ruby, the $3 donation. Get around you, Olivia. This is another day, another dono. Welcome back, Olivia. So have you got any bets on tonight? Skidamedi says, with a $3 donation, get around you. Skidder says, yo, 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 yo. Get around you. Appreciate ya. Fix my scoreboard. What's with the scoreboard? What do you mean fix the scoreboard, you muppet? It says, it's got Storm here, it's got Cowboys here. Which the scoreboard? What am I fixing? What am I fixing here, Jay? What am I meant to be fixing? Is there something wrong with the scoreboard? Round 14, Friday, 6th of June. Cowboys, Storm. Am I seeing a different world to you? Am I in a different world? I'm not too sure. Dan this morning, where are you today? I'm in Thailand. I'm here for probably about another 3 weeks. Until I probably head to Vietnam, see my dad for the first time in like 7 years. So, no, it's good, man. I've been slapping it down, been doing a whole bunch of fitness. I'm feeling a lot healthier, a lot better about myself, and it's been great. No, it's been fantastic here, man. Eating healthy and great people around, and just getting fit and healthy, dude. So, no, it's been great. Olivia says, okay, we need Derby, Nene, Pappy, Anderson, Coates, and Dearden. How many try scorers do you want in this game, Olivia? How many? You want the whole shebang, all 34 players that are named in the team list to get a try in this one? Well, you got to look at it this way. The Storm have conceded 219 points this season, which is the second best defense across the competition. The best defense is 202, which was against the Dogs. They both have played the same amount of games, so we can actually adjudicate based off of that. So it's a 17 points difference for more points that the Storm have given up, but it's not too drastically different. And then you go down to all these other teams where it's a drastic difference. But the Cowboys have actually really brought it back at 288. That's not actually that awful. The Cowboys have given up the same amount of points as the Raiders this year with 288. They are still one of the worst teams in the top 8 they are equal worst defense in the top 8 alongside the Raiders. The Dragons have actually conceded a lot less points than them. The Rabbitohs have conceded less points than them. Same with the Dolphins as well. Same with the Broncos, haven't conceded as much points as the Cowboys/Raiders. They've conceded more points than the Knights this year. They've conceded more points than the Panthers this year, and not too far away from the Eels. So, look, maybe based off of the Cowboys' defense, like, again, that's one of the worst defense in the top 8, but it's not awful. Like, it's not drastically just terrible like teams 338 points the Titans are giving up, 312 points the Tigers are giving up, but most of those 312 points were actually from that Storm game, 64-0. So, look, I don't think that necessarily when you look at a Storm game, you're thinking there's going to be a whole bunch of try scores, but then when you do look at the Cowboys, you do, based off of recent years, you probably would be looking at a few tries scored. I wouldn't trust it against a Melbourne Storm team at Amy Park. Jared Farmoni says another game is one of the craziest seasons for the NRL. I'm loving it. It is one of the craziest seasons. Like I think it was last year or the year before that. I can't remember, when we had a lot of like last second victories in the opening like 10 rounds. But then after that, it really slowed down and became quite normalised. And it was back to regular where teams who were better were winning by big margins. But the first 10 rounds were wild. This year, it doesn't look like it's slowing down. It looks like regardless of how far into the season we're getting, these teams who are the underdog teams are still getting these victories. They are still finding ways. Like, again, the Knights, they had no reason. This is why I had to, respond to that guy from yesterday saying, like, trying to get the big un for saying that the Knights were going to come back. It's like, one, you're a Knights fan, so you're going to obviously say that. But for neutrals and for everybody else, the Knights had no reason, no thought, no one would ever have picked the Knights, besides Knights fans, to come back in that game. And even Knights fans wouldn't have, because they were booing them at half time. So the point is that like that team had the least amount of points scored throughout this entire season at 159. They were a potential of going last. They were in third last. Manly were up there in the top 7 of the competition. Manly led 16-0. The Knights again had 0 points at the time, and won an attacking team, and had won 1 game out of 5 at McDonald's Jones Stadium, and yet still were able to come back and win. So it's like, at half-time, yeah, if you're a Knights fan, sure, you're going to have faith in your team, but outside of that, there was no reason for anyone to believe that the Knights are going to come back. But that's how this season is. This season is just full of surprises and full of shocks, and, we're seeing teams come back from absolutely nowhere to beat teams they shouldn't be beating in the first place. So, yeah, it's ridiculous, and it's really exciting. Jay says, because you always forget and blame Sam. It is always Sam's fault, though, Jay. It is always Sam's fault. Whenever it's not Sam's fault, it actually is at the end of the day. So we start to think, oh, maybe no, it's not Skunkle's fault today. No, it is. No, that's when we realise, no, it actually was, yeah. Olivia says, we do not believe in the Broncos getting a win tomorrow, but we do believe in your bet. Cowboys coming off a game cancellation. It'll be interesting to see how they respond. Yeah, well, that was actually positive there for the Tigers in a way. The game is kicking off here, guys. So hit that like button and subscribe and get amongst it in the chat. But the Storm will grab the ball here at the 15 and smack on down. That was actually a positive game for the Tigers in a lot of ways. They were down, 32-6 with like 18, 20 minutes to go of that game and came back to only lose by, 4 points. So I would take that as a positive. I wouldn't say that's a game of cancellation from a Tigers perspective. I would say that was a good sign that even though the Tigers were completely out of it, they weren't completely out of it and had an opportunity, but just weren't able to get it in the end. They got all the way back and just couldn't put it to bed. But I thought that was a relatively positive game there for the Tigers and a relatively negative game there for the Cowboys, and they're going to have to be a lot better today against the Storm. However, the Storm have been win, lose in the last 6 weeks. So the Cowboys will get this ball at the 15. Scotty Drinkwater brings it to the 20, the 25, and will get to the 30. I'm heading into Suncorp right now. Oh, Dolphins, Dragons, yeah. Jared Farmoni says, I feel like every team has been pumped by 40 plus this year, so unpredictable, at least once. I'm probably wrong, but I don't know how it feels like it. The Raiders, have they been pumped by 40 plus? I know the Dogs, obviously, they were down 13-0 at halftime against the Bronx, and forget about the second half, but sure, they came back a little bit to make it a relatively respectable scoreline. The Dogs haven't been beaten by 40 plus, though, but I think that's a little bit over-exaggeration, but I understand the sentiment of what you're trying to say there. Seb Watson says, time at scoreboard. Yeah, Jay never lets us know. Jay never reminds us, man. It's really disrespectful at this point. It's just disrespectful that Mr. Jay Hayes always forgets to tell us about the timer. And then also Skunkle. Jeez, he's just all over the shop. All right, so the Storm will grab this ball at 10. First tackle, now second tackle to 15. JK57, get around you, son. Jaden Morris says, go to Cowboys. Olivia says, Jay not doing his job. Exactly right, Olivia. It's wild. At least you're starting to realise it. Now that you're a moderator, you're starting to see it firsthand. You're starting to really get an eye-opener. Jay, he's in front of me in Perth. Like, when we're on the Gold Coast, when we're in Fiji, these kind of places. Penalty of the Storm. Hey, Nelson's thrown the ball at Viliama Vailea. Throw an uppercut, son. Give him a bushka. But it's a penalty of the Storm at the 30 or so. He's complaining about his shoulder there. If we're in Fiji or on the Gold Coast, it makes sense because we're in front of Jay, so like he's able to see it, from he's able to see it from behind to be like, okay, get it sorted. But now that we are, no, sorry. When we are over there, he has an excuse. When we're here, he's in front of me. So he's in the future, so he should know that I'm not going to do the scoreboard, and then he should let us know. So he's got no excuses. Jay says, Muppet, hope you get mobbed by a group of angry ladyboys. It's not very nice, Jay. That's not very nice. I'm a nice man. Nice, generous, empathetic man. So first tackle here at the Storm. I just need some help. You're a moderator, Jay. I would just like your help one time or another. Sometime at some point. All right, so second tackle here for the Storm. Harry Grant, Jerome Hughes, short ball to Utukamanu, who's 13 metres out of the line. Third tackle. This is the first attack of the game here. Storm on it early. Harry Grant, that was a bit of a weird play, the ball. They go out to Munster. Munster to Katoa. This was that was an awful attacking play there. Fourth tackle now 10 metres out. Leaves a punch. You get into him. Out to Munster. Munster then to Loyero. Loyero to Nelson to Solomona. Flicks the ball at the back to Jerome Hughes. He pushes away from Din. Jerome Hughes still at the 10. There's nothing going on here. This is a really awkward attack here from the Melbourne Storm in this first attack and set. This is really awkward. Harry Grant out to Munster. Munster then kicks that. It's a nice kick, but okay. That was just battered dead. Sure, Robert Derby not taking any risks. I think you could have caught that, to be fair, but sure. Yeah, exactly right, Seb. One job, Jay. One job. Jared says, actually, you're right. The Rays had 32 on them, which is the highest. Oh, are you suggesting in regards to the scoreline? I thought you were saying to be beaten by. I didn't know you were saying the scoreline being conceding 30, 40 plus. That's going to be... The Cowboys caught that short dropout, and then the Storm have ended up with the ball. How has that happened? They didn't even know... I don't even know how that just happened just then. If you're saying that teams have had like 30, 40 points put past them, then sure. Sean Bloor will be held up over the line. So second tackle now for the Storm at the 10. This is really weird from the Storm at the moment. Jay said, I was too busy buying Bears merch. Don't make me time you out, Jay. If I ever find out that you have any merchandise of the North Sydney Bears, Perth Bears, buddy. Elias Katoa's right on through. Jeez, that was bad defense on the Cowboys. This has been a weird first 5 minutes, man. That is a weird first 5 minutes, and the Storm will score through Elias Katoa. Awful defense there from the Cows. He just runs it straight on through. Such a stuttery Storm attack has just turned into... I don't even know how they got the ball off the short kickoff. I don't even know how they got the ball off the short kickoff. But they've ended up scoring. So try time here for Melbourne. They're up 4-0 with a kick to come. But yeah, if I ever see you have any merch or you're a member of that absolutely diabolical organisation that is North Sydney, then unfortunately we are going to have to time you out. And that is permanently. that is not only permanently, but you know how like in Scientology you sign like a 1 billion year contract to Scientology? Well, you would be timed out for the same amount of time. So we'll have to see you in a billion years. We would have to see you in a billion years if that was the case. JK57 says, go Cowboys, huge fan. Well, they haven't gotten off to a great start here. They haven't gotten off to a fantastic start. Seb Watson says, give it to a little puppy, little mother man. Yes, Brenton, they are on fraud alert. They are, the old manly definitely on fraud alert right now. If the Storm win this game and go on and win this well, I'm happy to take the Storm off of fraud alert because at least they would have put together back-to-back wins for the first time in a couple of months. Sibon says, give it a little puppy, mother man. A good calm day before the Storm, aka the Queensland Derby. Well, tomorrow's a big day, man. So Puppy will get the kick at 6-0 here to the Storm. Tomorrow's a big day. Sharks Warriors is going to be a belter of a game. That'll be a belter. And then I'm going to have to deal with the Muppet Bronco Brigade, who are going to come in here, buddy, defending Ezra Mam and saying, buddy, Broncos. See what I mean? Like, he caught the ball. How did Jack Howarth end up with that ball? It's crazy to me. But he got it. And I'm going to deal with them up at Bronco Brigade. So, tomorrow's a big day, man. Tomorrow is a big old day. Melbourne's attack should be past to Bloor and get out of his way. Mitchell, as a Tigers fan, he obviously understands his team isn't exactly the greatest over recent history, so he supports all players that used to play for... Well, I'm a Waz fan because they're on Clark then, and Tan Boyd, even though he's not playing. I'm on the Waz brigade for sure. I'm a big Waz fan. Big, massive Waz fan for Ez Clark. But when you're a team like us, as the Titans, or you with the Tigers, of course we understand it when the only joy you get is from your old players being successful at other clubs. Brent says Titans to punt the Broncos and put them on fraud alert. Well, I can't put the Broncos on fraud alert because they're not in the top of 10, man. They're not in the top 10. Like, if you get here, I put you in fraud alert. You're not here. You can... it's a penalty to the Storm. If you are a Broncos fan and you think your team should be on fraud alert, don't worry. You are on fraud alert. You are big fraud alert. Massive. Biggest massive fraud alert that ever did massive big. But you're not here to be seen. It's down here. It's down there, mate. Gee whiz, Broncos. You are such big fraud alerts that you're not even here to be seen as the fraud alerts that you are. Gee whiz, disrespectful to the game. Disrespectful to the ladder here. Disrespectful. First tackle at 25. Unbelievable, Broncos fans. Sort your shit out, you know. Jerome Hughes. Or don't sort your shit out. It's fantastic to watch right now. Second tackle here, 23 metres out. Stefano Wood-Tuakamanu to Harry Grant. Oh, to Munster. Munster to Nelson. He actually had a good run from Trent Loiero that he didn't pass it to. But third tackle, 10 metres away from the line, 8 minutes in. Harry Grant fakes it left, goes right to Pappenhausen. Elias Katoa for a double, maybe. Oh, he offloads the ball at the back. Pappenhausen gets it at 3. Nearly could have been a knock on there, but they just didn't see it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, not a knock on. Harry Grant, Jerome Hughes at the 10. Hughes goes himself. Fit tackle, 3 metres out. Harry Grant back to the 10 to Munster. They look like they've got numbers galore. Is there a trip there? They're gonna say it's fine. Vilea just gets the ball and brings out of the 4. It looked like there might have been a little bit of a trip there. Mitchell says all the Broncos talk will be in the Sharks-Warriors game. Yep. Flowlay says up the Mighty Sharks. Well, we'll be doing that game tomorrow. It'll be a good game. I do think the Sharks win, but it'll be interesting because the Waz have been doing well. Blake says, what's this whole leaderboard thing about? I don't know. It's a new thing from YouTube, and you know, that's a penalty against the Storm there to the Cowboys. That is awful. That is absolutely awful penalty giveaway. Actually, Mitchell, do you support Utuakamanu considering he's a Tigers legend? It's Adams 300, so I expect big tings. I don't expect big tings out of milestone games for anyone. Unless they play it like the Storm or the Roosters or something like that. Big milestone games, sometimes you can see, like, for example, Puppy, not Ryan Pappenhausen, Josh Papali'i. He's got his, 317th game this week, which is a milestone for, like, most Raiders games played or something. That doesn't necessarily mean all Cowboys nearly get through at the 40. I've seen so many games with the Titans with milestones they get beaten by 50. So I just, at this point, milestones, it's great for the player, congratulations, but I see too many 50 plus put bastas on the milestone, so the fuck the milestone, man. Like, 4th tackle now with the Cowboys with the 20. 10 minutes gone in the first half, 30 minutes to go. Hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget we'll be live for the Dragons versus the Giga the Dolphins later on today. Bushka! And the Cowboys taking down at the 10 on 5th tackle now. They've got Scott Drinkwater. He will go right to Dearden. Dearden's needs... Oh, that's going to be called a knock-on against Katoa. So it'll be Cowboys getting a fresh set of 6, 10 metres out. Do you know why the game's not on Sky Sports? Sky Sports, so that's assuming that you're a Kiwi then. And I am not from New Zealand. So no, I would have no idea. Hello, Brocky. It's not on just the Dolphins. Well, that is the main game tonight. Jared Farmoni says 319 for Josh Papali'i, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the most amount of caps in Raiders history, correct? JK87 says, who do you think is going to wear the number 7 for Queensland if DC does not get picked? Well, it's going to be Tom Dearden. If DC doesn't get picked, it's Tom Dearden. But I do think they go with Cherry Evans. It'll be interesting to see what Billy Slater does, because it's a ballsy call regardless. Out to the right-hand side, and Cowboys, Viliami Vailea is 5 metres away from the line. 5 metres away. Robson... That's a strange run from Jordan McLean, but sure. Second tackle here, 4 metres out. Robson gives it across here to Sammy McIntyre, and McIntyre will be 3 metres. Actually, no, it's not Sammy McIntyre. That's Ruben Cotter. No, it was McIntyre. I'm all over the shop. Tom Dearden, out of the right, Jackson Purgey, Drinkwater! Oh, lucky that he didn't reach out for a double movement there, because it was very tempting. Oh, then Tom Dearden gets crunched. That's kind of on Oh, it's kind of on the awkward play the ball there. Fit tackle, Robson, right side, Drinkwater gives it up to Vailea. Vailea out of the wing. They gets the offload. They flick it across, and it's intercept by Elias Katoa. That attack from the Cowboys looked good until it was dreadful. It looked good, and then when Drinkwater held up and didn't give away a penalty, which is at least a good start, then that's kind of where it slowed it all down, because then they just didn't know what to do from that quick play the ball. So Munster now, third tackle to the 30 for the Storm. Morning. I went to my first pro cricket game last week at Trent Bridge, a T20 game. Good entertainment, to be fair. Was it cloudy? Because it's England. It was cloudy, wasn't it, Daniel? But don't lie to us. Don't lie. We've had too many Englishmen coming in here telling us that England and London has got sun around, and it's not possible. It's illegal. It's illegal to have sun in England, so I'm assuming that it was cloudy and overcast for sure. Scott Drinkwater now, he'll get taken down at the 20 on first tackle. Brenton says Flo is a Shark supporter. Flo is a Shark supporter. That explains his comments. Fair enough. Well, Brenton's got a bit lippy since the Knights get a win. So Nene gets away here at the 50, the 45, the 40. This game has been so strange in this opening 13 minutes. Second tackle for the Cowboys at the 35 on the Storm side of the field. Jared Farmoni says, yeah, I feel the same for milestone games. Aaron Clark had his 100th, and we had 42 points put on us by the Storm, which hurt. Yeah, no, welcome. It seems like the Titans' milestone game form has transitioned over to the Wars there. Cowboys flick the ball off to... Who is this centre again? Zach Labour. Because usually Purdy would be there, but now he's in the 5'8". Tom Dearden, this is weird attack now, and there'll be 15 metres out for tackle. No, Daniel Bay, don't lie. It's a lie. Drinkwater down injured right now. God bless him. Maybe he's all right. They kick that ball inside. That should be an easy grab for Pappenhausen, and he does get it. Just in the field of play, though, so it won't be a 7-tackle set. Skinner Media, why have your comments been so strange the last, week? What's happened? Are you on the Terps? Why have your comments been so strange? You're watching the stream. What do you mean? How is the game going? You've been here since the start of the stream. Are you? What are we doing? What do you think? Do you think I'm playing Let's Play? Are we playing the game here? We playing Call of Duty Black Ops? I'm telling you how the game's going. That's the whole point of what we do. And then yesterday, it was all about Brisbane this, Brisbane that. He's a Broncos fan, Olivia. That makes sense. Yes, that does make sense. Brenton says, I might need a mullet after this week's game. Yeah, Fletcher Sharp is getting a real big one. He was good yesterday, Fletcher Sharp. And that's another penalty to the Cowboys. Storm being very ill-disciplined to start this game off. Since I got 10, Daniel Bate, you're a liar. It's not possible. It's illegal in England to have sun. If the sun comes out, the sun gets shut down by the government. Come on, man. Let's not be silly now. JK57 says, do you think the Panthers are going to make the top 8? No. Dion says, who got the first try? First try was Elias Katoa with a really easy one through the line. Jared Foreman says, Skidder's probably being careful with their comments so they don't get timed out by Jay for the millionth time. Yeah, but if you're making weird, strange comments that are asking things that are quite literally about what I'm saying and not changing it up, then I'm sure that Jay will jump on that wagon anytime soon. Oh, closer forward to pass there, but... the Cowboys will be 45 metres out here from the Storm line, second tackle. And Fletcher Hunt under the high ball. Yeah, Fletcher Hunt was good. I think Fletcher Hunt was actually one of the guys who isn't being spoken enough about in that game. I thought he was really good across the game. Everyone's looking at the Ponga try. Everyone's looking at the Fletcher Sharp performance, but I thought Fletcher Hunt was really solid. Fourth tackle now at the 25. The Novocastrians have taken over the mullet game from the Melbournians. So Tom Dearden, then Sam McIntyre, 20 metres out, fit tackle. Cricket is fun, but it ain't rugby league. Cricket is a summer sport for us here in Australia. So Tom Dearden runs it to the line. Drinkwater, flicks it underneath to Nene. Nene could go himself here. Oh, taken down 4 metres out. So Melbourne hold him out again. It's been such a strange start here. Dasmate growing a public mullet as we speak after Sharp's performance yesterday. Dasmate has had a mullet for a very long time. This is not a new thing with Dasmate. Dasmate is not little mullet man, little bubby, but he is a mullet man. He does have the old mullet. So second tackle here for the Storm at the 15. They give it out to Munster. Munster now underneath to Xavier Coates, and Xavier Coates to the 25. Great post-contact run to the 30. KCT get around it. Best Sport Triple says, do you miss attending night games at Amy Park in winter? Well, Best Sport, this is a very interesting question considering I'm not in Melbourne. 6 again for the Storm. Not in Melbourne, and we would usually play on like a Sunday afternoon in Melbourne one time a year, and why are you asking me this, Jesse? What? Since when was I in Melbourne? You think I live in Melbourne? I did live in Melbourne for 2 years, but that was before I even did YouTube. So third tackle here at the 18. What a random question, Jesse. What are you doing? What do you think? I'm a Storm fan? Out to Munster to Elias and Katoa, and Katoa's going to be 8 metres away from the line, 4 tackle. How's the game looking? Storm going to run over the Cowboys, or is it looking pretty even so far? Cowboys have actually had probably a lot better ball. Oh, that's awful. Jerome Hughes is going to score an easy try there. It's 10-0 here with a get to come. The Cowboys have actually dominated a lot of the possession of the last, 10 minutes. Storm score. It's been a really awkwardly strange and weird game that I've mentioned a million times now. My favourite word of this stream is weird or awkward. And that right there tells me how awkward it's been, because the Cowboys have had all the ball these last 10 minutes, haven't done jack with it, and then the Storm are just going to go over the other end and score, but the Storm have looked really ill-disciplined so far too. Get around you, Jesse. Olivia says we're in a press conference now. This is a press conference. Yes, this is a very big press conference. Simple says Cows defense is back. It is back. Welcome back, Melbourne. I'm up 10-0. Well, if they can start keeping them away, he keeps slapping them down. We're going to take away that fraud alert, and Manly's one will get bigger. Manly's one should get bigger, to be fair, after yesterday. It really should be. Manly's one should be massive. If I was to tell you right now what I think of Manly, this would be what it is. That would be. Right next to Manly like this. That's how big of a fraud alert Manly would be in after yesterday's performance. Deary me. Deary me, Manly. Have a word to yourselves. Have a word to yourself. Gee whiz. So Pappenhausen to go for the conversion here. Oh no, it's begun. Yep, fair enough, Joe. He's a big Storm, especially after last week. You're getting timed out for a minute. Don't ever disrespect the Titans there again. If anyone's going to disrespect them, it's going to be me! How dare you? Blaze owns the Crown Casino in Melbourne, didn't you know? No, thank you. I will pass. I will pass. Daniel Bay says, Melbourne, where is this place? That would be a place in Australia. Are you trying to correct an Australian on how we pronounce Melbourne? It's like me trying to correct you on how you pronounce Manchester. It's Manchester. This is ridiculous. Are you trying to correct the Australian on how the Australian pronounces Melbourne? Oh, jeez, you're going to have a heart attack when you hear how we pronounce Canberra. You're going to have a heart attack when you hear how we pronounce that. Deary me. And no, listen, Brisbane's another whole conversation in itself. Incoming spit rant. I don't know what's happening there. No, I'm not reading the rest of that card. I don't even know what's happening there. Casey, it's been a strange game. It definitely has been. But 12-0 here to the Storm, 18 minutes in. I'm all out of whack in this game. It's been strange. Really has been. So Storm will get the ball at the 10 through Munster. Munster off to Sean Bloor. Tigers legend. Brings it out to the 20. Deary me. We've got an Englishman trying to correct the Australians on how we say Melbourne. What do you pronounce it? Melbourne? What are you, American? From Dallas, Texas? What's this? You think you're American or something? Ben Casper says, go to Melbourne Storms. You're going to get timed out for saying Storms. Jared Farmoni says some strange comments today for a strange game. Yes, absolutely, man. But this is what we do when we're from Dallas, Texas. So fourth tackle now for the Storm at the 48. They go out to the left-hand side. The Brisbane Broncos take on the Gold Coast Titans tomorrow. We all love it. Storm flick. What the fuck is happening in this game? What is happening at this point? They're just throwing the ball around like crazy. Get into him, Dan. But you get into me, you know? I'm terrified. So Munster, that was such a bad set from the Storm, but a hard kick here for the Cowboys. Drinkwater grabs it, though. That Texan accent is solid. Well, GG, that's because I'm from Dallas, Texas, man. I originally grew up in Austin. But, you know, in America, we just, when someone asks us where we're from, we just say the state. We don't actually tell you the country. Like if you're in India or you're in Thailand, like I am right now, you know, you when someone says where are you from, you don't say United States like a normal person. No, you tell them where the state that you're from. You know, so I'm from Texas. Daniel Bates says some people here say Birmingham. Birmingham. Okay, so Angie, you've said up the Storms with an S. There's only one S in the Melbourne Storms, or Melbourne Storm. There's no second S there, but it is Storm. One S at the beginning. So, second tackle now. I'm trying to get back to my normal accent now. Second tackle, Tom Dearden, and they got a 6 again. Now, Jeremiah Nene, they're at the 23rd tackle now. Skinner with the 3 donation said I don't have any hope in the Broncos tomorrow. Firstly, appreciate your donations. Secondly, I'm glad. So Tom Dearden, short ball McIntyre. They're 10 metres away. Fourth tackle. They've been down here quite a few times. They have Robson, Cotter, Dearden, flicks it across to the Cowboys. Try time to the Cowboys there on the wing, and it will be Jackson Paulo, Manly legend. He will score the try in the corner. Going to be a difficult kick here, but at least the Cowboys, they do get their first points of the game. This is, how did it sound Mexican? Wait, what did Jay say? How does this sound like a Mexican? This doesn't sound Mexican accent at all. There has been Mexicans that I've been staying with here, and they sound absolutely nothing like this. I'm not from Guadalajara. No, I'm not that daft to speak like a Yank. Well, you just said Birmingham. Birmingham. Do the whole stream in Ethiopian. I don't even know what an Ethiopian accent sounds like. What do you mean Ethiopian? And why Ethiopia? Out of all countries in the world, why Ethiopia? So Jackson Paulo will score, and it's 12-4 here for the Cowboys. Oh, for the Storm, but with a kick to come to the Cows. Ethiopian? You do the American accent good? That's because I'm from Austin, Texas, man. JK57 says, are you in Thailand? Yes, I'm in Hua Hin. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, so there's obviously a lot of people, new people here. There is only one S in Storm. One S. There's no Storms. There's no multiple teams here, just the Melbourne Storm. One S. You know the rules. You know the rules, man. You know the rules. This is what happens here. We've got to teach you. Scouse. Liverpool. And he misses the kick. So it's going to be 12-4 here with 17.5 minutes to go here of the first half. It's Bournemouth, Daniel. How about that? Exactly right, Dom. Tell him. Tell him, yeah, we're going to teach the Englishmen how to pronounce your own cities now. Yeah, Bournemouth. It's not Bournemouth. No. It's not Bournemouth. It's Bournemouth. You're going to start to understand. It doesn't work like that. What did he say? Oh, no, he said something. What's he? I just saw all he said was lol. That's the last thing I've seen him say. How's Thailand like? It's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's good. I'm doing a fitness retreat though, so I'm not here like on a buddy tourism bender through Pattaya and Phuket and stuff. But I'm here doing a fitness retreat, which has been really good. I've been here for nearly 4 weeks now. I've still got about 2.5 weeks, and then I'll head to Vietnam for a couple of months, see my dad, which will be fantastic. Jack Finch says, thoughts on Turbo to the Super League? I don't think it's going to happen, Jack. I understand the sentiment. I understand the conversation behind Tom Dvojevic to the Super League, but I don't think it's going to happen. Whether he stays as the fullback for Manly is another question. I wouldn't be surprised if he does stay at Manly, but they potentially move him to a centre position to accommodate for Lee Harper-White and stuff like that. But you know, it's frustrating because Tom Dvojevic, when he's on and when he's fit and healthy, you know, he's absolutely fantastic, one of the best players in the game, but unfortunately he's just not as fit and healthy as he would like him to be. And, you know, touch wood he is. I don't like to say that, but it is a stat. It is a fact that he is unhealthy in regards to injuries more often than not. So, look, I think that, yeah, he's looking at a contract downgrade, and I wouldn't be surprised if Manly do shift him, but also it's a big risk because he is injured more often than not. So, Pappenhausen grabs his ball at the 10, brings it back here to the 15. But it's a difficult conversation because I understand why the conversation is there. Pappenhausen gets away here, taken down then at the 25. Dom says, Sadio Mane is the best football player in the world. Chris, what you laughing for? I'm being serious. Sadio Mane? No, he made a dono. I don't have hope in the Broncos. Oh, true. Oh, I get you. Now I get you now, Jay. No, I understand. He tried to skirt the system. Third tackle. Then again, if you skirt the system by donating, you know, like... Fourth tackle at the 48. Harry Grant will put a little dink into the corner. Decent enough kick, but Scott Drinkwater will be back to field it. Brings it back to the 15 and then to the 20. Jared Farmoni says, interesting to see AJ tomorrow for the Titans since they got concussion exemption. Strange, and hopefully they aren't rushing him. Well, it is odd. I'm surprised the NRL's allowed it, but it's good to see. You know, we do have a bit of frustrating times right now, so we want all the players that we can have. Especially when AJ is with us for at least another 5 years. Is that the rumor about Turbo? Seriously? Yes, Daniel, it is. There is genuinely rumour about it. I don't think it'll happen. I think there's still going to be teams in the NRL that would want him, and I still think Manly want him. I think it's just the media really lumping into the issue, which is something the media do love to do. Look at the David Fafita situation right now. Fifth tackle with the Cowboys to the 45. At least Josh is in his circle jerking me today. That is a very good point, Olivia. Very good point. Pappenhausen gets it to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and back to the 15. Well, yes, Dion, he was using a Scouse accent. That wasn't a good one. I wish I could put on a heavy South African one, but I just can't. A lot of people, actually, here's a question for the chat. Do you like a Scouse, not a Scouse accent, that's awful. Oh, right hand, knock on from the Melbourne Storm, and a big Cowboys ball at 25. Do you like a South African accent? Some people do, some people hate it. Blaze, are you getting buttered up by the Broncos fans? Why would they be buttering me up? They ain't here either. And if they were here, they'd have a fraud alert sign on them. They just got absolutely slapped to Mundos by the Manly Seagulls last week, who just threw away a 16-0 lead to a Newcastle Knights team that is the worst attack at the comp by about 60-odd points. So they ain't buttering up nothing except for themselves. Don't mind the South African accent. You like it? Yeah, I like it. Some people don't. Every time I say I don't mind it. Depending on how thick it is, actually. Depending on how thick it is. Chicken and a can of Coke. Don't know what that comment's about, but Tom Dearden here. 15 metres out here from the live of the Cowboys. South Africa. I can't do a South African accent. I can't do it. Maybe it's the American in me that I can't do it. I work with a lot of South Africans, so that's why, yeah, maybe. So Reece Robson, he'll go out to the right to Tom Dearden, the 10, then off to Purdue. Purdue, Drinkwater, stops in his ways. Back to Dearden, the 15. Then across here to Zach Labert. And Labert will be 15 metres out, third tackle. It's a mad accent. It is good. So Robson to Dearden. Dearden then off to Cohen Hess, and he's going to be 5 metres away now, fourth tackle. I don't know, Skidder. I think you've pissed off Jay too many times in through history. Cowboys 1 metre out, fifth tackle. There was a chance there, but he just couldn't get over the line. Jackson Purdue. Robson, he goes all the way back out to Tom Dearden. Dearden kicks it through. Played out. Is he onside? It's offside against Josh King. So penalty to the Cowboys. I can do a Scottish accent. I think it's too thick for mine. I'm not as big of a fan about the Irish accent as a lot of people are. A lot of people love the Irish accent. It's not that high up there for me. He's definitely offside here, so it will be a Cowboys penalty. My mate said the word pyrotechnics in a South African accent. It's an easy word to practice with. Pyrotechnics? I can't even think right now. I can't even think how to do it. Nelson Mandela, get around him. So Jeremiah Nene has lost the ball, goes backwards, and the Storm will get the ball. It's kind of a strip there from Hughes, but it goes backwards. Casey says, took a phone call and bing, bang, boom, Cowboys try. Yep, bing, bang, boom, Cowboys try, and about... knock-on and penalty galore from the Melbourne Storm. They've been strange today. So the Storm out of the 20 on third tackle. But yeah, I don't know why. Like, Irish is right. Like, I'm pretty certain you look at most things. Australia's in the top 3 for the most part in regards to, like, very objective lists. Like, very objective. Like, it's always going to be down to your own perspective. Australia's pretty high up there. And the Irish is too. I just don't get it. Jerome Hughes inside their own 40, kicks it to Drinkwater at the 10. I like Conor McGregor's accent. Sure, but that's just because he's funny. So many awful impressions from people have ruined the Irish accent for me. People overdo it when impersonating the Irish accent. Yeah, because they start talking about the look of the Irish. Start talking about the look of the Irish. We're talking about leprechauns. Then again, it's better than Americans saying that we enjoy shrimp. Shrimp on a barbie. So third tackle now at the 45. Just watch the NBA Finals highlights too, and oh my gosh, Haley strikes again. Yep. I just think he's got a lot to prove. Fourth tackle now at the halfway point. Database says, I used to work with a Geordie guy who couldn't understand some of his own fellow townsfolk. I don't mind a Geordie accent as much as a lot of other people do. Drinkwater gets off to Jeremiah Nene. Nene runs it himself, gets the offload away to Zach Labert. And Labert at the 20. I don't know how the Cowboys haven't scored more than 4 points in this game. They've had so much ball in this area too. Tom Dearden. Not a bad kick at all, but the Storm will grab it and will be taken back in goal. Yeah, no, he's in goal, so it is a dropout. It is going to be a dropout. It is a dropout. JK says, you know Jay Hayes? No, never heard of the bloke before. Never heard of him. Sorry for assuming your gender as well, Jay. I'm not sure. Dom says, don't mind the Safa accent. Drykers in press conferences go. Drykers is very funny. Saffers have a very similar kind of banter style to us, though. Cowboys grabbed that. Really good grab, actually. We did gather that. We're very big gatherers here on BKR Sport. So 10 minutes to go with the first half here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Tom didn't quickly. Jeremiah Nay. They flick it. Hits Grass. McGrath. The Storm could get there. Oh, I think he's got it. I don't know if it's a... I don't know if the referees were going to have an angle to see if he actually pulled that in illegally, but sure. So now if the Storm are away, Grant Anderson at the 45, and there's a knock on. You're definitely going to see that one. You are I was going to say, I think I might have flipped the computer. I think I might have flicked it up and thrown it off the balcony here if they didn't see that knock on, but they did finally see it. They did finally acknowledge the knock on there. But damn, it took them a while. I want to see if this was a knock on earlier they didn't see. And I think it probably was, to be fair, but they didn't slow it. I would have loved to see a slow-mo angle of that, the previous one. I think it's because I grew up with, like, Geordie Shore and shit, and that was good, like, back in the day when I was growing up. So I think that's why I don't mind the Toon accent as much. But sometimes it can be very, very thick. Geordie and Scouse is very, very thick. Second tackle here for the Cowboys at the 40. Go on, Grassy. Grassy's still flying, man. You know, Luke Metcalf, he wants the Dally M, but Grassy McGrath's going to push him all the way. Will Kennedy, I don't think he's a match for Grassy McGrath. He gets points every game. Truly, especially in Knights games. Not so much in the second half of the Knights game yesterday, but definitely in the first half. And definitely every other game this season. Out to Jackson Purdue, flicks it off. They've actually got numbers here. They've got numbers here. Viliami Valea taken down at the 10 for tackle. You have been down here so much, Cowboys. You have to capitalise on this. Drinkwater did underneath to Zach Laybart, and Laybart will be 5 metres after the line, fifth tackle. Out to Tom Dearden! Storm bought the 3. Storm have held on again. Cowboys, you've got to capitalise on all this ball. Love a Hori Māori accent. Cracks me up every time. Isn't Hori a bad word in Māori? Because Skunkwill actually taught me this one. He got me in trouble for using this once, and I don't even say it. I didn't even know it. I'm pretty certain that's a bad word, though, isn't it? Isn't Hori a bad word in Māori? So 4 tackle here for the Storm. No, he gets the offload away there, Munce. I don't know how he did, but Josh King gets his ball out now to the 30, and it'll be 4 tackle. I do like a Kiwi accent, though. Kiwis, their accent's pretty good. Jerome Hughes, quick ball. Elliot Katoa, can't get the offload away. Fit tackle. When this possession levels out, it'll be about 40-4. Well, the Storm are their own worst enemies. Like, they're ill-disciplined and also making knock-ons. They're their own worst enemies in this game. If the Sharks beat the Wars, they lose their fraud alert. Yes, they will lose their fraud alert, but the Cowboys, they're away here. Cowboys, you have to score, man. Look at how much ball you've had, dude. What's the possession right now? It's saying 53%, which is astounding to me. It's saying 53%, which is absolutely astounding. Phillips says Hori equals Bogan. Okay. But, like, is that, like, an offensive word? Because Skunkle used it once at a Titans where he is Kiwi. He is from New Zealand, but he said it, and these guys at the back, they thought I said it, and I wouldn't even have known the word, and I got in trouble for it. And ultimately, at the end of the day, like, obviously everything was sweet, but this is why I know that it's not exactly a great word to use, because this idiot got me in trouble for saying it himself. So, the Cowboys here, that's going to be knocked back from the Storm at the end, and it'll be 15 metres out from their own line. Buster said, if Warriors lost to the Sharks, they get a fraud alert? No, because then I would get absolutely roasted from Warriors fans. They would come on here and destroy me, and I can't do that to my boy Aaron Clark. So, Ryan Pappenhausen to the 30 on third tackle. Jacob 57 says, are you a Titans fan? No, I support the Antarctic Penguins. Big Penguins fan. Massive. You should see my suit. I've actually got a suit. When I used to go to the games with the Penguins, I used to actually wear a Penguin suit and bang on my fish sticks. So fourth tackle after Jerome Hughes. Hughes and then out the back. They get a quick pass to Grant Anderson. And then Anderson will be taken out to 40 on fifth tackle. Maybe it's not necessarily about the possession of this game. Maybe it's about where the ball has been, which has been concerning for the Cowboys. Because the ball has been in the attacking 20. I think the stats on tackles in the attacking 20 would be ludicrous in favour of the Cows. Oh! Is that it? That's a knock on Storm. So it'll be a fresh set of 6 for the Cows, about 13 minutes out. It is if you're not Māori. Okay, fair enough, Philip. Thank you for letting me know. Daniel Bates says, Harvey Howard had an interesting accent. I don't even know that is. I don't even know that is. Not sure you guys here would remember Harvey Howard. No, mate, no. We weren't born in the 1910s, so unfortunately we weren't around here for Harvey Howard. Kay says, definitely not a compliment, but wouldn't say it's not a good word. Kind of like an African... Okay, well, we're not going to go down this path. Dom Finlayson says, Anderson is the best player with Grant in their name on the Storm. Thank you, Dom. Seb Wasden says 78% and 76% completion rate. Definitely not a classic. Not a classic here, but it is a penalty to the Cowboys because guess what? The Storm have been very ill-disciplined quite literally all game. It's not a convincing game for the Storm. You're still keeping that fraud alert. If this game keeps going like this, Storm, I don't believe in you. All right, now, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. There hasn't been too much pushback to the fraud alert there next to the Melbourne Storm, and right now I'm not feeling like there's going to be too much pushback if we're keeping me here after with this performance so far. G'day, all ready for a sleep stream at 8 p.m? No, that's well, we said this about last night's game. No, we thought Manly would just go and romp at home, and end up being an absolute bloody cracker. Second tackle now for the Cowboys at the 50. This season is so open. Anybody can win this year, dude. Anybody could win this year. Robson off to Tom Dearden. Dearden at the back to Drinkwater, and he'll get away from a tackle. And Drinkwater's away. Drinkwater's away. Taken down to the 20. Last second by Harry Grant. Robson out to the left. Good tackle there, but he gets the offload away. Dearden. Dearden now 5 minutes out from the line. Fit tackle. 3 minutes to go. They have been down here about 1.5 trillion times. 1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion. Which is 1.5 trillion. And that's a in-field play, so it's going to be a dropout here from the Storm. What's happening here? What are we doing? Probably the first Knights game that I enjoyed. Yeah, probably the only Knights game in history, yeah. Yeah, I was too young for the Andrew Johns days. Too young for the Andrew Johns days to really appreciate them. And then, I did enjoy that Knights-Raiders game in the first week of the finals, like 2-3 years ago now. I think it was the same year the Warriors did well, so it was 2023. Anybody? Even the Eels? I don't even know what you just said. So I don't know why the Eels just got brought up into the conversation. So Cowboys first tackle here, 10 minutes out. For the love of all that is mighty, you need to score, Cowboys. You have been tackled in the opposition 20 more times than there's been minutes. Drink water! Drink water! Oh my Oh man, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. It's a knock on Cowboys. They're going to check on this. They're going to... Cowboys are going to challenge this and say it's not a knock-on against Drinkwater, but I'm pretty certain it's a knock-on against Drinkwater. So Drinkwater... Yeah, you're not going to be winning this challenge here, Cowboys. See you later. What are you doing? What are we doing here? See, velocity challenge. Brent says 97 grand finals last night, Jared. My dad. I don't know if he'll ever be able to get over that. As a Manly fan, I don't know if my dad will ever be able to move past that 97 grand final. Get around your Sundo. Brenton, I'm happy for you that they won. That's all I'll say. It was very enjoyable, to be fair. It was a great game. Dom said, you said the league's open. Anyone could win. Was taking the piss by mentioning para. Fair enough. Yeah, no. When I say anyone can win, I mean a large majority can win. If they can sort their shit out, I would be not happy but I would be content with saying that there are 3 teams that still cannot win the competition, and that would be the Gold Coast, that would be the Parramatta of the Squeals, and that would still be the Newcastle Knights, besides the fact that Brenton's propaganda is probably going to try and tell me they're going to win the comp from here. So Tui Kamikamica, you'll get this ball out to the 33. Neither will mine, Blaze. I'm all over the shop. I don't know what half these chats referencing at this moment. Storm are favourites of It's a Logjam. Okay. So Pappenhausen now at the halfway point, fit tackle. Like, what are we, Logjam? What's happening? Oh, Storm. Okay, now we're getting back to the conversation of winning the comp. Okay. Oh no, Cowboys! They've knocked the ball on, so the Storm are going to get the ball here. 8 AM is out. My old man's. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Brenton. Now I can understand the confusion here because how am I meant to just assume that your dad's a Manly fan, Miss Esley? You know, like, did this come through your mind that maybe, just potentially, we didn't know that your dad is a Manly fan, Brenton? My old man's also a Manly supporter. Well, I'm so sorry. I think you have mentioned it before, but yeah, I'm never going to be able to remember that off the top of my head. Good evening, everyone. Checking in from work right now. Yeah, well, it's been a really weird game. Really, really weird game. But the Storm are leading 12-4. 48 seconds to go in the first half. With all the ball the Cowboys have had in the attacking area, there's no way they concede here. If they do, there is a way. There's no way they should be conceding here. Well, that's a penalty. It should have been a penalty. Out to a 6 again. Trent Loiero taken down to the 10. 33 seconds left here. Go for a field goal, you cats. Make it the weirdest halftime score of all time. 13-4. Go on, make it weird. Tuiko Kamitha! Oh, held up over the line. 20 seconds to go in the first half. Hey, we'll take the clock off. I love how you give up sometimes trying to follow the comments. Well, because, and obviously it's going to happen. There are people talking about this thing that we're spoken about, and there are people talking about this thing we're spoken about. I'm talking about the game, but also speaking about the thing in the middle. It does, sometimes you just get lost. Harry Grant, 10 metres out to Jerome Hughes. Hughes up to Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen himself flicks it back. Harry, oh, it's a try. Well, Cowboys, you've had about maybe 1,000 hours in the Melbourne Storm attack in 20. You've scored one try. You're down 16-4. It's about to be 18-4. I don't know what to tell you, but I do know what to tell you, and that it's looking pretty rough in Melbourne for you right now. Because Melbourne have not played great. Melbourne have not played great, but yet they're going to lead by 13 plus at halftime. Then again, the Knights came back from 16-0 yesterday, and they're much more of a poor excuse than the Cowboys as a team, so anything can happen. Did you say Tigers still have a chance of winning it all? I'm going to take them out of it too, Dion. I'm going to take them out of it too. Where do you get a Jerome Hughes headgear? Dope as. Well, it is actually really cool. The Storm should be selling stuff like that. It is a really cool headgear. Alright, so conversion to come here. Conversion to come. If it's a logjam, Storm are favourites. Storm, who are technically the favourites right now would probably be the Dogs, no, but I would say no. I would say, for me, the favourites are Canberra as long as they can remain consistent. But maybe betting-wise, the Storm are still favourites, maybe. I can't see the betting odds here in Thailand. Alright, so Ryan Pappenhausen, can he make it a 13-plus game? He should be able to. It's right next to it. And Ryan Pappenhausen will bang it on through. So, halftime score here is going to be 18-4. If you've just watched the statistics, I guarantee you probably think the Cowboys are in front here. But if you're looking at the scoreline, you're watching the game, you're like, what the hell are we watching right now? But at halftime, 18-4, let's go through some of these stats. Again, this possession just baffles me completely. It really does baffle me. But guys, obviously hit that like button and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the first half. Possession-wise, 51% of the Cowboys, 49% of the Storm. How that's possible, I don't know. There's literally only been 30 seconds more for the Cowboys than the Storm. Completion rate is 82% for Melbourne, which is fine, at 19 from 23. The Cowboys at 17 from 22, 77%. It's not awful completion rates from both teams, even though it feels that way against the Storm. It feels like it's been way worse the Storm. Maybe that's been their ill discipline rather than they're actually giving away like knock-ons and stuff. Run so far 97 to 83 Cowboys way. They've run for 884 meters compared to the Storm 741. So that is about 143 run meters separating them through 13 more runs, meaning that it's pretty equal. It's pretty equal in run meters. post-contact meters, there's 287 post-contact of the Storm, 261 of the Cowboys. So they're getting absolutely demolished in the post-contact, considering that they're as many runs behind as they are, and yet they've got 27 more post-contact meters than them is crazy. Line breaks is 4-3 Cowboys way. Tackle breaks is 20-12 Storm way. Damn, Cowboys are missing a lot of tackles. But here you go. Average set distance is 38.44 for the Cowboys to 32.86 for the Storm. That's not good from the Storm. That's in the wouldn't even spit it at caliber of 25 to 30. Close enough though. It's not great. Anything under 35 is just not good. 32.86 is not fantastic. 38.44 is on kind of a basic level. It's kind of okay. It's on the higher end of the average level, but it's nothing spectacular. Kick return meters 108 to 55. The play the ball speed is wow fast from the Storm. A 3.1 second is very, very speedy. That is very speedy from Melbourne. But 3.58 is quite slow from the Cowboys. So it's very contrast in regards to the play the ball speed here for both these teams. 7 offloads to 5 Cowboys way. You've got 2 forced dropouts to 1 Cowboys way. Kick refusals 75% for the Cows, 20% for the Storm. Yikes. Effective tackle percentage. Okay, this is telling you a bit of a sign here. 88.94% for the Storm, which is 177 tackles made, 12 missed tackles, and 10 ineffective. So they have had 22 bad tackles throughout the first half through an extra 21 tackles made in the Cowboys that we'll talk about in a second. The 22 bad tackles, 88.94, it's very flatline basic. It's nothing spectacular. It's not really bad. It's just sorted. You're fine. You're okay. And I know they've only conceded 4 points here, but it's not fantastic, but it's fine. Then tackles made for the Cowboys, they're at 84.32%, which is really poor. That's not good defense at all. 156 tackles made for 20 missed tackles and 9 ineffective. So they've had 1 ineffective less than the Storm, but they've made 9 more missed tackles. 9 more missed tackles than Melbourne, and they've had 19 less tackles made. So that's why their effective tackle percentage is really poor at 84.32, and that's telling you a sign about why this game is the way it is. 7 errors for the Cowboys, 5 errors for the Storm. Still quite a lot of errors for both teams, but especially the Cows. Penalties conceded, 4 from the Storm, 2 to the Cowboys. Ruck infringements, 2-1 Cowboys way. Inside 10, 1-0, and on report 2 times. I'll be honest with you, these stats don't, besides the defensive stats, they don't necessarily align with what I saw. I saw the Cowboys in the attack in 20 so much more than the Storm were, but the Storm were just able to actually put points on the board. They were just able to put the points on the board, so yeah, not a great game by either of these two teams, but the Storm are still ahead by 14 points. So that's kind of what it says in the first half. Dom says, Storm doing a vintage Mourinho bus park. Well, it seems that way. There's no stat here on NRL.com to tell me how many times it's been tackled in the opposition 20. I would love that stat. I would. That would be a great stat for them to show us. But I can't. There's no stat here on NRL.com for times tackled in the attack in 20. Because I guarantee you it would be enormous in favour of the Cowboys. Enormous. Brenton says, needed Storm over 12.5 points first half for my first leg of my multi. Nice. Well, you're very lucky because they only scored right at the end of the first half. So you're very lucky they were able to get that. Guys, I'm actually going to run for the bathroom here at halftime. So smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, keep commenting away in the chat. Tell Jay to remind us about the scoreboard for the next game, which is the Dolphins versus the Dragons. And I'll be back in just a few momentos. At least leave it on the picture. Hey, you're getting enough of it, right? You're getting enough of it. It's a beautiful picture. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. New Zealand guy says, I don't see the Cowboys coming back. Maybe they can. Maybe they can. After yesterday, considering that a team that never had any right to come back, considering their season so far, was able to come back from 16-0 down, maybe they can. Maybe. You know, anything can clearly happen. Jay's just saying a man about a dog. Yeah, that's a big Jay thing to do. He does love a good dog. Does like a big dog. Massive dog. Massive dog guy. He needs to take that painting around the world. Listen, I still don't know if it's an actual painting. If you want me to go, I can go grab a coffee. I can go down to the lobby and grab a coffee if you guys would like me to just put the painting back on if you'd like. We can do that. A stream gone downhill. I'm taking my line back. You're taking your line back? What's the line? Is there a safe behind? Is there a safe behind it? Hey, you never get to know, mate. You never know. Probably. Maybe. Stream gone down. Oh, you're taking your like back. Well, now you should give it back. As in, like, you took it away, now you give it back. On the basis that you can't even spell it in English and you are an Englishman. I'd love a coffee while you were grabbing one. I could definitely deal with a coffee right now. I could definitely deal with a coffee, but we do have a whole second half here to go. And then we've got an entire game of Dolphins versus Dragons, which is not exactly going to get the blood pumping you would assume in that game. With that being said, one of those two teams will go into the top 8 on the back of it. So they are both playing for a top 8 spot. Go grab Juan. I don't know. I'll go, maybe just before the next game start. Will I have even time? What time does the next game start? It's like 5 minutes after this finishes, doesn't it? Come on, Cowboys. Let's make a comeback in the second half. Yeah, well, good luck. Down there in Melbourne, I don't see it happening, but we'll see. 5 p.m. So it's 3:55 now. I might have 5-10 minutes. As long as this game doesn't go to extra time and there isn't just like a whole bunch of mistakes that stop the clock and whatnot, we might be right. I want a chai tea, please. Okay, Olivia. Okay, Olivia, listen. All right. I'm gonna need to clarify something for you. Okay. Chai. You listen? Are you listening to what I'm saying? Chai, quite literally, means tea. So when you say chai tea, you are quite literally saying, I would like a tea, please. You're not saying something separate. It's nothing separate here. It's chai is tea. So when you say chai tea, you're saying, I want a tea. Just like if you say naan bread, naan means bread. So naan bread is say I want bread. So if you go to India and you say I want naan bread and a chai tea, you're saying I want bread and a tea. Deary me, Olivia. Come on now. You gotta wake up. Time to wake up here. Come on. Deary me. I'd like a TT as well if you know. Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You reckon Galvin will get a run this weekend? Let me have a look at the lineup. Is he on the... Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to learn today, Olivia. You're going to learn today. Okay, so... Where is he? Where's the old Galv? Dogs game. I just went into the Tigers team list, so that tells you how much my brain's clicked on today. Galv is... Oh, wow, there's a very long extended bench here for the Dogs. Wow. They've got Turpin, Blake Wilson, Sam Hughes, Blake Taff, and Lachlan Galvin. Why is there so many reserves for both teams? The Dogs have Turpin, Wilson, Hughes, Taff, and Galvin on the reserves, whilst the Eels have Papa Lee, Matt Dury, Joey Lussick, Dean Hawkins, and Samuel Loizu. Why is there a million reserves in this game? Usually there's 1 or 2. They've got 74 each side. Dogs play mind games. Well, it's not even necessarily that. The Eels have got about 1 trillion players on the extended reserves as well. Dom's just having some Thai food at the moment. Got some pad siu. Thank you, mate. Thank you for letting me know. I haven't had Thai food before. Is it good? Is it good Thai food? Barry says, why do Bulldogs love Sexton so much? Galvin is a lot better than him. Don't ever disrespect Toby Sexton, the sexiest Sexton that ever did Sexton. Very sexy man, that man. He's having the extended squad. Hey, look, I'd like to see it. I'd love to see him crack on, but surely the Dogs in first place don't adjust their roster too much. Maybe you can see him Players, maybe you could play a bit of 13, or maybe he can beat just the 14 and come on. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him into the 14, but then again, that's very quickly. There's always 5 reserves in Muppet. That is very incorrect, Mitchell. I'm going to go and have a look at another team's reserves, and I'm going to prove you wrong. So let's go to the Dolphins versus the Dragons tonight, Mitchell. Yes. So the Dragons have Emre Gula and Lachlan Elias. That's 2 on their reserves. The Dolphins have Harrison Graham on their reserves. So that is 2-1. That is 2-1 there, Mitchell. You're going to have to really start waking up there, son. Got to start really waking up. Let's go to the Sharks-Warriors game. The reserves are Billy Burns and Jaden Beryl. For the Sharks, the Warriors have Tane Tuapiki and Samuel Healy. 2-2. 2-2, not 5. Not 74. 2. Let's go have a look at the Titans-Broncos game. How about we do that? How about we do that here, Mitchell? So, in the Titans-Broncos game, that's not actually existing this weekend. All right? It's not existing. Doesn't exist. Does not exist this weekend. That is actually been postponed, so we can't talk about that one. And then, obviously the Raiders-Rabbitohs game has also been postponed. So, yeah, basically, as I told you, it's a fact, Dolphins-Dragons only have 2. And Dolphins only have 1. So, unfortunately, you were wrong there. So, Olivia says, I'm not educated, but at least I know that there's not 2 S in Storm. That is correct, yes. That is correct. And you're going to have to let Johannes Danafun know this because, unfortunately, we're going to be seeing them in 5 minutes. We're going to be seeing them in 5 minutes because Johannes obviously does not understand. There is only 1 S in Storm. Only 1 S in Storm. So you're going to have to let Olivia, you're going to have to let Johannes know this. Andy says, greetings from Manchester. Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Nice and cloudy day out there. I'm wearing a purple hat. Try and find me in the crowd of the game. Okay. Olivia, you go to Suncorp Stadium, we're looking for a purple hat amongst a sea of red. Dolphins and Dragons are both red, and I'm looking for a purple hat in the red. Deary me. Logan Paulson says, no, mate, when you talk about Sexton, you're talking about a lifestyle. When you talk about Sexton, you're talking about a lifestyle. Sexton. A ton of sex? Is that what we're talking about? Deary me. Andrew says, Brenton, how dare you? Our clouds are beautiful, but a bit of mix of sun and clouds. I'm so sick of the English lying on the channel. So sick of it. It's just ridiculous that the English keep trying to... Australians aren't moving. We're not moving to your country, all right? You sent us here. We're going to be disappointed with the beautiful sun and the beaches of Australia, the Gold Coast, whatnot. Listen, we're very jealous of you and your fake sun in England, which doesn't exist because it's illegal there. But we're just sick of hearing about this fake sun because it's not true. There's no sun in England. Never has been, never will be. Jaden Morris says every team has an S at the end except for the Storm. It has 1. Thank you, Jaden. You got there in the end. You got there in the end. Thank you, Jaden. That's the point. That is actually the point, funnily enough. So the Storm will come out here on the field for the second half. It is 18-4 to the Storm. I'm pretty certain the Cowboys will kick off too. Seb1 says, good luck to those people who are colourblind looking for that hat. Well, it's purple. It's purple. So it seems like Olivia is trying to tell us that she's actually a Storm fan in disguise. I'm supporting a foster kid foundation tonight. My dad's foster kid is running out with the Dolphins tonight. Get around him. Get around him. China built their sun. Well, Jay knows he's in Perth, which is closer to Beijing than the rest of Australia. The sun in England is AI generated. It's not even AI generated. They actually have never seen the sun before. They just try to believe that what they see on, like, when it's like the clouds are dark, it means that there's no sun. But when the clouds are light, like a little fluffy white, you can't. They think that the sky is red because they've never seen blue sky. It's unfortunate there in England. We don't really feel sorry for them, but at the end of the day, they just don't know the sky is actually blue. So it's actually the Storm kicking off for the Cowboys here. So it just depends on the colour of the clouds in England, especially up north in Manchester. Especially up north. All right, so first tackle for the Cowboys at the 20. And right now in Thailand, mate, it's beautiful. Mate, that's sun. I can see the sun here. I can see the sun here. I'm so sorry, England, to make you jealous. So second tackle for the Cowboys at the 20. Jared for Money says, the English believe the sun is a myth like Bigfoot because they've never seen it before. So sad. It is very sad. Again, don't feel sorry for them, but very sad times. Very sad times. That's Drinkwater at the 40, the 45, the 50. Great run, but then he'll get crunched down by Jack Howarth, and then he loses the ball. So Storm ball at the 45. Great hit there from Jack Howarth, and Drinkwater is grabbing at his right shoulder. GS is, can you commentate the second half in Chinese? Unfortunately, GS, I can't speak in Chinese here. Jay Hayes would have to be the one to create the channel. He's very fluent in Mandarin. Very fluent. Like I said, Perth, where Jay Hayes is from, is closer to Beijing than the east coast of Australia. So if you would like to watch the game in Chinese commentary, Jay Hayes is actually the man for you. He's actually the man for you. Seb Watson says, lovely down south. I think you mean the north. They never get the sun. No. We're talking about England. We're talking about the entirety of England. Yeah, no, the north is definitely cloudy. And the south, dearie me, that's also very cloudy. I think it's just one cloud that just situates itself over the top of the UK all the time. I think that's the same cloud as it was 60 years ago. It just doesn't move. I think it might be. So second tackle, Jerome Hughes. And now third tackle of the Storm, Trent Loiero, 35 metres away. Can you commentate in English then? No, that's not what we do here, mate. We do what the fuck we want here. So it's going to be third tackle, Pappenhausen, then taken down at the 25. Wrecked. You got me, mate. You got me. But unfortunately, the difference here is that I'm able to watch the game, which means, I can afford to pay for the subscription service, which means get a job. So fit tackle, and the Storm will kick it up, and knock on Cowboys. Tui coming. Kamita picks it up now. It's going to be a fresh set of 6, 3 metres out. Can you change the subtitles language? Maybe you can get it in Mandarin. That's a good point. That is maybe a good point here. So Sean Blore, he'll be 1 metre out. Blaze also has a mic. I do have a mic, Jay. I do have a mic. It's really beneficial. Really beneficial when you get wrecked, to wreck the wrecker. Jerome Hughes kicks it through. This is a try coming up for the Melbourne Storm. Try time for Nick Maney. Bulldogs legend, mate. Bulldogs legend, and it's 22-4 with a kick to come. So the old Melbourne Storm back in. Can you just try Chinese, please? Unfortunately, I probably get cancelled. It's kind of strange, actually. So 22-4 Storm, they get a conversion to come. It's kind of strange how if you put on like a Chinese accent, you get labelled as like a racist. But yeah, it's okay to put on an Australian accent. It's okay to put on an American accent. It's okay to put on an English accent. Italian accent, even though that's very... When people put on an Italian accent, like one of my best mates is an Italian. They put on a very heavy, like a Mario and Luigi, like, and that's fine. Like, but that's apparently fine. But you're not allowed to do Indian or Chinese. It's quite interesting. Yeah, Indian accent, Brenton, exactly right. So it's funny that you're not allowed to say those two, but you're allowed to do it with everybody else, even if you're just genuinely trying to put on an accent. So 36 minutes to go of the game. To be fair to GS, you have to be 15 to get a job. That is a good point, Dom Finlayson. Isn't it 14 and 9 months? Maybe that could be the downfall there. Okay, well, I'm not going to read Jay's coming out. I'm not even going to do that. Andrew, you're going to get timed out because we're not at Thrifty 30 yet, mate. 30 incoming. We don't have this game over here today. Well, unfortunately for you, it's only 22-4, and it has not hit the Thrifty 30 yet, so we will be seeing you, Andrew. You are very well aware of the rules here, my friend. Unfortunately, you are very well aware of the rules. My subtitles with this Aussie language looks like Mandarin anyway. Well, we just improved on your language, mate. We just talk a lot of slang. I know the English can't understand it. They don't understand many things that they create. Cricket being one of them. Rugby league being another. I think rugby union another one. So it's not surprising the English can't understand the Aussie language because we make things better, as in, the sports. So Watson says, Andrew, game over for you. Game over, man. Game over. So they get the conversion, 24-4 here for the Storm. 35 minutes to go of the game. Hughes been playing good? Yes, Tom. Hughes has been good. Overall, the Storm haven't actually been that great in this game, but they are pretty clearly on top in this one, to be fair. I am going to do it. They might come back, but I've got to take the fraud load off for the time being. I've got to take the fraud load off. They are up by 20 points here against the top 8 team, top 6 team, so I've got to take them off for now, but they might be back. They may return, the old fraud alert. Don't go away too long. There's the old lurker, Slapper. Slapper's always lurking, mate. He's the biggest lurker that ever did lurk. Besides Alex, and I don't know if Alex... Actually, I want to see if Alex is lurking. He hasn't commented today. He did say that he was lurking yesterday. So I want to see if Alex is lurking. So comment in the chat if you are lurking here, Alex. Third tackle now for the Storm at the 33. Dom says they don't understand football either. Ask Harry Kane at the Euros. He thought he was at the World Cup. All the Euros. He thought he was a punter. Big punter, Harry Kane. Fifth tackle for the Storm at the 40. Tui Kamikamica. And Harry Grant's just completely tripped over Cohen Hess there. Jerome Hughes kicks it through from himself. That's nice. And Jerome Hughes taken down fifth tackle at 35. Ended up being okay. Jess says, can you try and sign language? Yeah. So 35 minutes left here. The Cowboys will have the ball at the 45. And then this and a bit of bang and a bit of boom, bing, bam, boom, bang. Is that all right for you? Do you understand that one? Who's Alex? Never heard of him. Like that Sam bloke. Yeah, Skunk will never turns up. So second tackle here for the Cowboys at the 50. They just haven't been able to break through this Storm defense today. They've been able to get line breaks, but they just... Would you just stop asking? He's trying. Bless him. He's trying. Ah! Alex, we got him! He is lurking! We got him! I knew we'd be able to get the lurker out of his cave. Jeremiah Nane at the 20. I knew it. What a call. What a buddy call. That is going to end up being an awful kick there. Pappenhausen grabs it, so it's going to be a 7-tackle set for the Storm at the 20. That means DP in sign language. And Pappenhausen brings it out to the 33 on 0 tackle. That was not a good kick. It actually, Nene was close. And you could argue there could have been a penalty there against Bolo for holding him back when Pappenhausen was trying to get the quick. Xavier Coates now second tackle. He'll be basically at the 40 on the Cowboys side of the field. Gary says, Gary from Port Moresby, go. Oh, Gary. There is only one S in Storm, my friend. One S in Storm. S-T-O-R-M, no S at the end of it. We'll see you soon, Gary, but appreciate you in Papua New Guinea. Jerome Hughes hit a little puppy run. Pappenhausen, Nick Meaney taking out the 15. It was a good run, but unfortunately, Tom didn't. Just too good defensively. They get out to Jerome Hughes. Hughes steps, goes himself. Oh, he's been good today, Jerome Hughes, but he's held up over the line from Drinkwater. Well done, Scotty Drinkwater. Well done. Scott Drinkwater's held up Hughes over the line. Brilliant run from Jerome, but he just couldn't get it. He just couldn't get it. So 10 metres out, the Storm are going to be fifth tackle. That's a great try 7 tackle there from Scott Drinkwater. Fantastic try 7 tackle. Wait, what's happening? Claiming something in the lead up here. A player potentially taken out here. Cap challenge from Melbourne. Stoppage from held up. Claiming interference on the way in. Okay, this is weird. I'll fix it in a second, Jared. Okay, are they saying... So... Oh, yeah, okay. Harry Grant will get taken out. That's a professional foul. Jerome Hughes... To be fair, Jerome Hughes isn't looking at him, but it's still a professional foul. He's still Well, I would disagree. It's like, okay, was he looking to pass the ball? No, but Cohen Hess has deliberately taken a player out in case the ball was passed back to him. So this challenge will be successful. It's a penalty to Storm here, which means they get a fresh set of 6, basically. But I would also argue that because Jerome Hughes went himself, they're then punishing the Storm and letting the Cowboys off because he didn't look at the player that got taken out. Anyway, so Harry Grant to Jerome Hughes. Off to Munster. Munster throws the ball to Grassy McGrath. A couple of tally end points coming up there. And Xavier Coates will pick it up at the 15. It's just you, Jared. It is definitely just you, Jared. It is just you. I've just gone and had a look now at the score. See, it's going fine, mate. It's going fine. You need help. It's going fine. It's always been working sweet. All right, third tackle here. Harry Grant, 15 metres away. He goes out to the right to Jerome Hughes. Jerome Hughes then to Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen underneath, and that's a knock on. That's Grass McGrath getting back into the play and did, and we'll get the ball at the 25. At the 25. Yeah, well, GS, he hopes the Storms win. Well, I hope you enjoy a 5-minute timeout. Second tackle now for the Cowboys at the 33. It's been a long time coming, though, to be fair. It has been. And it says, see what happened. There was loss in translation. You guys thought I was talking about 50 points. No, I wouldn't. We know the rules here. It's not my first rodeo. Timeout accepted. Yes, no, it is timeout accepted, especially when you said a fitty bomb, which is not allowed until the thrifty 30. Without rules, what are you? You know? What are you without rules? and regulations here on BKR rules and regulations. 4 tackle here at the 45, and they'll be taken out at the 40 now, 5th tackle. So many people won't learn the golden rule of the Storm. They will learn. They just need a timeout to learn. So Tom did and puts it up. Some people never learn, though, to be fair. Drop backwards by the Storm. Luckily, Pappenhausen's away. No, good work there by Villiam. No, you weren't going out, Pappenhausen. Luckily, the Storm still got it, but he wasn't going out. He didn't need to throw that ball back onto the inside. Luckily, they still got it. Xavier Coates out the 15 on first tackle. So Ruben Cotter comes off, and Edwards comes on. Munster goes a little quick dummy scoot, and it'll be third tackle at the 38. 30 minutes to go here in the game, guys. Melbourne up 24-4. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Not the most enthralling of games right now. We're more enthralled by enjoying a nice little time out of Muppet in the chat. Harry Grant, good run. Gets his ball to the 35 on the Cowboys on the field. That's a good 20-metre run, that. Fifth tackle, Munster off to Jerome Hughes. Don't forget, we'll be live for the Dolphins versus Dragons, begrudgingly. Xavier Coates catches it. They just allow him to catch it, and they'll take him down to 15. A lot of incorrect spelling of Storm and timeouts today. Yes, the old Storm with an S at the end of it, unfortunately, has come rifling on through again. And now Cowboys at the 25. By the way, how good was that Socceroos win yesterday? As is Behich, when he scored that goal, I was at a market here. I was at the markets, and I went nutso. I went nutso because it basically means we're into the World Cup. We're not losing 5-0 to Saudi Arabia. If we lose 5-0 to Saudi Arabia, then I'm becoming a fan of Uzbekistan, who were in their first ever World Cup in history. Oh, jeez, that's a wild one. Knock on there from the Cowboys. Cameron Munson now the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, taken down. 0 tackle now for the Storm at the 15. They score here, and it's going to get ugly. Jack Howarth, he'll get off to Harry Grant. Harry Grant, Jerome Hughes. Jerome Hughes across to Elias Katoa, steps in the inside. 10 metres out from the line now, first tackle. Elias Katoa already scored one today, was the first try scorer. Harry Grant to Jerome Hughes. And again, Loiero to Munster. Munster to Sean Bloor. Can the other back rower get there? Half a metre short, literally. Second tackle. More timeouts than Cows points. There actually has been. 2 incoming a metre, toss of 50! Oh, less than half a metre short with that one. Big toss on 50, man. So close. Harry Grant, Cameron Munster, Jerome Hughes, little puppy run. Pappenhausen has thrown the ball to not only row A, but so far back that just landed in Uzbekistan. That actually genuinely nearly hit the first row. That pass was so bad that he's genuinely passed that to the person sitting in row 1 at Amy Park. That was awful. That was awful. Yeah, and Craig Bellamy's losing it. I don't even know how you can get a pass that wrong. All right, second half possession, 65% of the Storm. Cowboys at 35%. Good grab by the seat there. Very good grab. It took Grass McGrath out of the play, so unfortunately he won't be able to get Dally M points for that one. But it did take him out of the play. Uzbekistan now with the ball at the 10. Big Uzbekistan. Big Uzbekistan. Would you say Uzbekistani? Or Uzbek? I think they say Uzbek is the shortened verb. Because, like, Tajikistan is... No. I don't know that part of the world, to be fair. You need to be about 12 foot tall to catch that. I think you probably need to be even taller than 12 foot there. So, Cohen Hess, he'll be at the 45, gets away from 1. Offloads it to Robson. Knock on from Kamikamitha. I didn't mean to touch it, but it is a knock on. So, 0 tackle for the Cowboys, the 48. Pappenhausen must have watched Obi Toppin before. What a random name to bring up. That's forward pass. Well, that's a forward pass. No? So, it's going to be a Cowboys try next to the post here. Was that not forward by about 3 years? I want to see this again. I want to see this again, because if it is backwards, then that is a brilliant pass. If it does go backwards, that was a brilliant pass for a Cowboys try here to make it 24-8. And they will get the kick because it's right next to the post. But I just want to see this pass again here. Robson runs it, goes... Don't know about that pass, lads. Don't know about that pass, lads. Like, yesterday, it looked forward for the Knights, but it was kind of okay at the end. That one definitely looked forward. Anyway. Ted Taylor says, hey Blaze, how are you? Hope everything is well for you. Going alright, man. Going alright. Just wish the organisation would hold themselves accountable. Jared Farmoni says, this strange game has everything here. You got to love it. Yeah, even a controversial call just then that allows the Cowboys to score and not necessarily get back into the game. But if they score again, they're back into it. Touchy was thinking about the catch he should have had instead of the touchdown pass, correct? 3 years for it as well. Well, it was. It was. All right, so 26 minutes to go here of the game. It is 24-10 to the Storm. Mitchell says it's against the Storm. I say let it fly. Let it fly. Let it fly. So 14 points of difference. Jay, I know what you're laughing at. Oh, stop it. Stop it, stop it. So the Cowboys will get this ball 3 meters out here from their own line. And now go and Hess. I knew it was coming, Mitchell. I knew it was coming. Oh, too funny. Too funny. I knew someone was going to mention it. So third tackle now at the 28. I didn't even know he still existed, to be fair. I didn't even know he was still cracking on. Good on him. So fourth tackle here at the 45. Is he still cracking on like online? Is he still doing YouTube? Fifth tackle now at the 40. 26 minutes to go here in the game. I was waiting for a comment to come. So the Storm will... The Cowboys knocked that ball back. Cowboys still here. Last tackle. Dearden offloads. Chance here for the Cows! Vilea, right-hand side. The Cowboys are actually going to score. And it's going to be 24-14 with the kick to come. Maybe the Cowboys come back here. Because although that was a forward pass that got them back in, this definitely gets them back into the game now because this try is fine. The Cowboys will score in Zekona. 24-14. They bring it back to within 1 of 12. This is all on old mate who was it before? It was Andrew talking about the fitty bomb. This is your fault. This is why we say you can't talk about the fitty bomb until the 30. Cowboys love a second half. Well, they didn't last week. The Cowboys definitely did not love a second half last week, but they did still end up winning. They weren't fantastic in the second half against the Tigers. But 25 minutes to go in the game, and it could be an 8-point game if they get this conversion. Can't be fun in the Storm coaching box. Well, they just showed Craig Bellamy. He's not a happy chappy. Try confirmed. At least this might make it an interesting game because it has been quite a dull game until here. Maybe not necessarily dull, but... Oh, they're moving the kick. The ref is telling them to bring it in. Does it really matter? And so I should be a Storm fan being English and all. We love a good Storm. Yeah, well, your whole life is a Storm, unfortunately. Yeah. Whole life is a Storm. The rain is starting to come down, which might slow up play a bit. Camel says, come on to Cowboys. Well, they will miss the kick. So still a 10-point game, but plenty of time to adjust this. Only 10 points in it. Seb Watson says, this is the Storm, though. How many times get to a decent lead and then do absolutely nothing? Yeah, well, they were up 16-2 against the Dolphins before losing 44-22 or something ridiculous. So, the Storm, they've been on win-loss. Hey, maybe that fraud alert might come back soon. Maybe that fraud alert might be coming back. You should be a Suns fan with that son you've been getting, Andrew. Andre. You think Andrew is now Spanish? Andre. So, Robert Derby is now equal Jackson Purdy for most tries scored this season. When's Murray Talangi back, by the way? All right, Storm kick it off into a pretty interesting area. That will be 0 tackle for the Cowboys after the Storm actually knock it on. It wasn't even a short kickoff. It was just a mid-range kickoff that they got up for and just weren't able to grab it. So, Jackson Purdy now at the 30. If they threw away this big of a lead at Amy Park, they wouldn't just be on fraud alert. They would be confirmed fraudsters. Confirmed. Guaranteed. At Amy Park for places 2, Zach Laybert. He'll beat the 45 on second tackle. I can't believe the Storm are still favourites to win the comp. Are they still favourites to win the comp? Like, actually? Because I can't see the odds. I would currently have the Raiders as my favourites to win the comp. Let's just bring the fraud alert back on. Yeah, but that would be... You're a Cowboys fan. If I put fraud alert back on now and they're still beating you by 10 points, then you're disrespecting your own team. My factor 50 hasn't been needed this year just yet. We still hold out hope. A knock on here from the Cowboys. Mate, you don't need sunscreen in England. Don't even bother. I don't even know why they sell it. In England. Maybe it's because of those white clouds. You know, those darker clouds with those rain, that's definitely not needed. But the lighter clouds, no rain around, but just clouds, that's maybe when the English need it. I reckon it's a Doggies versus Raiders grand final. Thank you, Nate J, for talking about who is in the current top 2 right now. That's a really bold call. It's a massively bold call there when you're predicting first versus second. Wow, really impressed by that, Nate. That's out of nowhere, to be fair. It really is out of nowhere. Yeah, Storm Dogs, Raiders, Sharks in that order. Okay. I'm surprised the Dogs are over the Raiders. Then again, the Dogs did beat the Raiders, so it makes sense. Who scored? Anyone I needed? I can't remember who you needed, but Elias Katoa, Jerome Hughes twice, Nick Meaney, and then also for the Cowboys, Jackson Paulo, Scott Drinkwater, and Robert Derby. They're the try scorers. Fraud alert might have to come back. It may do. If the Cowboys score again, the fraud alert is definitely on its way back into the picture. And Trent Loiero, the 35 on fit tackle. Been saying it a year, Smarter. You have not been saying Bulldogs versus Raiders since last year. Oh no, it's a 6 again for the Storm. The Cowboys make a mistake, and now Munster has it. He goes out to the left. Munster! 8 meters out here, first tackle. There is 0% chance you have been saying for a full year that the Bulldogs would be taking on the Raiders in the grand final. You muppet. Nathan, oh no, Cowboys. Oh no. Oh no, Cowboys. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So try time for Big Nelson to Solomona here underneath the post. And 28-14 with the hit to come. This is why we unfortunately could not put the fraud alert on top of them just yet. But they are about to hit the thrifty 30. I've got Robert Derby, no one else. There's actually been quite a few points scored in this game too. There's the Cowboys defense again. That is the ever-present Cowboys defense there. It was a good run from Munster. And then it was just poor defense that lets Nelson just walk over. Just walks over. Gets away. They need to do way better. 5v1 they concede. It's very Cowboys defense. Very, very Cowboys defense there. Yeah, it's a good try there from Nelson, though, to still reach... When there's 5 players around you and to still reach that ball down and put it over the line, like, dearie me. And it will be 30-14 any moment now. 20 minutes to go of the game. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. 20 minutes to go of the game. Actually, Jay, can you check on the Dolphins and the Dragons game when I'm meant to be going live for it? Is it 15 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before? I can't remember. I wonder if I'll have enough time to go get a coffee. Dogs-Tigers final. You're lucky you don't get timed out for saying that. So they will get the kick, and it will be 30-14. 20 minutos to go. I think Raiders versus Storm. Right now... GS, by the way, bro, if you keep doing it, we'll just hide you. So it's like... I know you think you're funny with the Storm at the end of it. Like, and that is a joke at the end of the day, but we're pretty happy to just remove you. So... like, it's up to you, man. It's up to you. 23 minutes to the next one. Oh, damn, that's a bit early. That is, unfortunately, a little bit early there. Grab a coffee between games. Yeah, probably. The Dragons-Dolphins game isn't exactly going to be... It doesn't look like it'll be a stellar, but if it does, then we'll be here for the back half anyway. Brenton has got a 90s costume party this weekend. What would you go as? Scooby-Doo, mate. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, mate. Get into him. Dress up as a dog. Just dress up as a dog, Brenton. Come on. Just do it. Moneybags, Olivia winning again. Why? Oh, did she have Nelson or something on mine? She had like 700 try scorers though, so take your Scooby snacks. Well, see, Brenton, if you're single and you go to a 90s costume party dressed as a dog, women love dogs. Women, big fan of dogs. You got like, if you're walking a dog, it's a great way to meet women. Huh? If you're single, dress as Scooby-Doo. Dress as Scooby-Doo, mate, because then you mix the best of both worlds. Not only do they get the dog, but they also get a... No, well, you are a Newcastle fan, so that kind of holds you back a little bit. going as Neo. Oh, you're so basic. Neo? Matrix? Go as the woman character. Go a little bit indie. Go a bit different. Go as the chick in that movie rather than Neo. Neo's too basic, man. Tom Foley says the grand final will definitely be Eels versus Titans. I don't know about the Eels. Titans for sure. Eels, very, very concerning. Not too sure about that one. Humphrey B-Bear. Now goes Barney. Barney's the shit back then. Knock on there from the Cowboys. And Storm will get the ball at the 45. The Pink Power Ranger. No, it's too normal. No. It's too normal. You have to go indie. Everyone expects you to go as Neo, so female main character Matrix. What was her name? Trinity. Go as Trinity. Everyone expects you to go Neo, and you turn up as Trinity. Or dress as Neo, rip it off, and turn into Trinity. That's the extra thinking. That's the extra thinking. Adelaide Rams versus South Queensland Crushers with the grand final call on it. You need help. Brenton says Trinity with a mullet. I like that. Bit of mixing up the Newcastle Fletcher Sharp and get a bit of Trinity from the 90s. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think that's the play, Brenton. I think that is the play right there. Mark says there's a spirit. Oh no, Mark. Come on, Mark. Mark, there's one S in store, Mark. Mark, there's one S in store, my friend. Deary me. So, third tackle, and Harry Grant goes out to the right-hand side off to Munster, and Munster, fourth tackle now at the 15, 17 minutes to go of the game. Sandra says, go as your favourite YouTuber, Mr. Sport. Well, I was born in the 90s, in 94, so technically you could go as me. You could go as me! Stefano Utokomanu will go as a held up over the line, not a try scorer. He can't go to the party as a try scorer because he was held up over the line. I was a big Lara fan. Lara Croft is very, very normal though. All the women, when they're doing 90s, they'll go as like a Lara Croft or maybe even Britney Spears. But, come on, you've got to go different. You've got to go real different, man. Go as Lisa Simpson. No, it's too normal. Go as Maggie. So, fifth tackle and the Storm just get taken on at 10 metres out. That was weird. Reg Reagan at first. You know who I think you should go as? Washed up Wally Lewis at the Gold Coast Chargers. Was it Chargers or Giants he was at? Or Seagulls? Maybe it was Seagulls. Go as washed Wally Lewis at the Seagulls. Go as the Joker. No. The Joker is so overused now. Joker's my favourite villain of all time. Joker's way too overused. Stewie Griffin. I wouldn't say Stewie Griffin is regarded as the 90s. Washed Waldo. Well, this game's kind of over now, unless there's a couple of score. What is the best 90s dress-up options? Don't worry, we'll help you out, Nath, mate. And that's going to be Cowboys ball at the 45 on the Storm side of the field. Elaine from Seinfeld. Now we're talking, Brenton. That could be a shout. I bet you dance like her too, so it wouldn't surprise me, even though Friends is still better. Xavier Coates now at the 15, first tackle. Elaine from Seinfeld's a great shout. Oh, you know what I reckon? This is a great one for you, Brenton. Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. That is the play right there. Storm third tackle here at the 30. We've got it. No. Nothing you guys say anymore will be relevant. The best one is Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. Because it relates. It's relatable to Brenton's life. So Ryan Pappenhausen gives it out to the wing, and it's a knock on. Pappenhausen's passes today have not been fantastic. Fran from the Nanny. That was a great show back in the day. That was a great show back in the day. She's actually got quite a dark story that kind of led her into getting that role too. If you see it on Google, it's actually quite wild. Dressed like the Matrix. Chucky's, mate, come on, listen. We started off by Brenton telling us he's going as Neo. We've worked our way into Trinity. Now we've moved our way to Fran Drescher from the Nanny. You got to start getting on with the times here. But I'm still thinking that the play is Julie Roberts and Pretty Woman, because it's a great movie and it relates to Brenton's life in Newcastle. All right, so first tackle here for the Cowboys at the 50. Jeremiah Nene rolls it back to Drinkwater. Drinkwater off to Dearden. You know the game's not fantastic when we're talking about Fran Drescher from the Nanny in the 90s. Why? Oh, South Park could be considered 90s, no? Yeah, South Park would be considered 90s. You guys have been helpful. No, it's all good, mate. I know I've been helpful for you. Anytime, man, anytime. No, anytime, Brenton. Anytime. And out to the right. Fair tackle here, 10 metres away for the Cowboys. May as well grab a coffee now. To be fair, if the Cowboys scored now, they'd be within 2 tries with over 10 minutes to go. Drinkwater kicks it through, and they will not score now, and they will allow the Storm to get out of the in goal and 5 metres away from their own line. I'm on Storm 1 of 12. Can't the bloody Cows. You are relying on the Cowboys in Melbourne. Interesting prospect there. Mrs. Doubtfire. It's not how you spell Doubtfire, Seb Watson. Second tackle here for the Storm at the 15. Space Jam was a strong look. Yeah, Lola Bunny's alright. Lola Bunny's alright. Oh, Cameron Diaz, and there's something about Mary. How about that one, Brenton? How about that one? Chuck it in there. You've got the ability to do it. That's how you get your hair going. Time Seb out for that spelling. Gee whiz. I want to time out for being English, but definitely for not spelling Doubtfire right, yeah. So first tackle, yeah, there's something about, I reckon dress up as Cameron Diaz with the hairstyle, it's something about Mary. There's something about Brenton. Tom says, how do you get the beans above? What? So third tackle here at the 44. Yeah, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to come back here, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately. I don't know if it's a play. Cowboys next 5. Dolphins at home. Roosters away. Titans away. Didn't get to see the last 2. Brenton, why are you saying go as Norbert? We're helping you out. What do you mean go as Norbert? As if like somebody else is the one doing this 90s party. So Storm will grab this ball at the 9 through Alex Katoa. Good catch. You're the one we're giving advice to here, Brenton. What do you mean go as Norbert? Who are you suggesting to go with? No one else is doing a 90s party. We're trying to help you out here. And Nick Meaney. Oh, Wonder Woman's not really 90s. Wonder Woman's like, when did Wonder Woman come out? Like 50s? When did Wonder Woman originally come out? It's saying Helga from Hey Arnold. You just come with me at this point. Yeah, Brenton, unfortunately, I'm too busy in Thailand right now, but thank you for the offer. But if I did come, I'm thinking that I would probably go as... Oh, there's a double denim look here from Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, which is terrifying. The old double denim. It's a bold look. I would go as Phoebe Buffay from Friends. I would go as Phoebe Buffay from Friends. Early Phoebe. Third tackle out the 40. 10 minutes to go here of the game. Hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget we'll be live for the Dolphins Dragons, which we are very hopeful is a little bit of a better game than this one. Let's just all go. Sundo, you guys are all within the area. You're in Sydney. It's not too far to Newcastle. Bretton's invited. Bretton's invited you. Scott Drinkwater, whether he's invited you or not, well, he's gonna. Blaze actually going to the party as Casper since he won't be there. That's real heavy thinking there, Jared. Well done. Cowboys, you kind of last chance. Bateman kicks it through, goes straight to Jerome Hughes, and Hughes is going to be taken down at the 13. That's a dive, Jerome. Get up. Duffy. I really hope you're meaning... I hope you don't mean Buffy the Vampire Slayer, as in Buffy with a B and not Duffy. What's Duffy? What is Duffy, Dion? Please tell me you're not referring to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. 4 tackle now at 35. We've already thought about timing out, and that's going to be a penalty here to the Melbourne Storm. Not going to be dressing up as Muffy, Jay. No. Not going to be doing that. This is going to be a slow last 10 minutes, eh? It's going to be a slow last 10. No. Jared Farmoney says, Dion, you think about Duffy or Duffman? I think he's thinking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I think he's forgotten that it's a B and not a D. Buffy, now you have me doing it. Yeah, see, unbelievable. All right, so Storm will have the ball at the 40 after the penalty against the Cowboys. Just finish the game up at this point, lads. Just finish it up. Call it off. Call it off. Jerome Hughes, Stefano Utukamanu, now 25 metres away. You know it was a good show? Charmed. Charmed before one of the girls there ended up being a nutso. Munster, Pappenhausen! Puppy! 5 metres out, third tackle. Get it on the old Charmed. That was the shit for a bit. 6 again. Jace's Ghey. I'm not going to say that, but I'm assuming that he's officially coming out. So Harry Grant off to Lissati, who will be held short just to the line. No, held over the line. No, he's going to take him back. A good show to watch is Severance. I have absolutely no idea what that is. No idea what that is. But is it 90s Logan Ball sacks? Because that's the conversational point right now. Who was the chick everyone hated on Charmed? Alyssa Milano or something? I think so. But wasn't that also that short-haired girl? Bet you love Dawson Creek. Also, no, the OC was better. So, Tuakamanu, who will be 1 metre short of the line, 4 tackle, was never big on Dawson's Creek, but the OC, bit of primetime Misha Barton back in the day before she went schizo as well. Pappenhausen kicks it through. It's going to be played up by the Cowboys, so Pappenhausen will get taken out. No, he'll get this ball at 20, and they'll be 10 metres out. And it's a penalty to the Storm. Penalty to the Storm. Oh, if you're talking about 90s and Seinfeld's, I'm timing you out. You're getting a 1 minute timeout. Logan Ball sacks, and you know why. You're aware why. You're a big understander of why. So they're going to go for the 2 here, the Storm, to make it an 18-point game. Brenton says Wolf Creek 1, not 90s. Also 2, no thank you. Olivia says there's not a lot of people here. Where? Are you talking about Suncorp? It's the usual, mate. It's the usual. Firstly, Dolphins fans don't exist. They're all Broncos fans in disguise. And secondly, Dolphins fans don't exist because Broncos fans in disguise. Fraser is a show no one really talks about, but I liked it. Yeah, Fraser was a good one back in the day. Dom Finlayson says, go get a coffee now. If the cows come back, I'll donate 80 next stream. I'm all good, man. But if cows come back, you can donate your entire bloody wages. Because it's not happening. But if the Storm win, I reckon you donate 2 lots of wages. So the Storm will convert it for the penalty, for a 32-14 game, 6.5 minutes to go of the game. Well, Olivia confirmed that as she's also a Kicker Care and Show Ponies fan. That is correct, said Watson. Yeah, that's actually correct. And she's wearing purple, which is related to both teams. But I also know she's not a New South Wales fan, not a Sydney fan. She is a Queensland fan, despite the fact that she's from Kiwi land. She is from New Zealand land. But she must be a Queensland fan here, which then relates to the Dolphins of the Dragons. So she is a Dolphins fan, but actually Broncos fan in disguise. We got there in the end. So Cowboys, that is your mathematics for the day with BKR. You tell them, Logan Ball sacks, that is correct. Titans 13 plus. So Jeremiah Nene pushes off Jerome Hughes, then take it down at the 18, loses the ball. Jerome Hughes ends up with it. Didn't Queensland adopt New Zealand anyway? Yeah, well, there's been plenty of Blues players who've come from New Zealand over time, but listen, you know, New South Wales want to say that's in Queensland. Well, guess what? We'll take it then. You know, we'll take it. We'll take it. If everywhere's in Queensland, then sure, give us Nathan Cleary. And I'll flip that ball back at the Storm, and they will get this ball to 30. They probably can't afford 2 home games in a weekend. There's going to be 90% Titans fans there tomorrow, that's for sure. That's for sure, guaranteed. Nate J says, my 90s costume's either a Ninja Turtle or Inspector Gadget. Thank you, Nate. That conversation kind of ended about 5-10 minutes ago, but, you know, that would have been helpful at the beginning. Unfortunately. Also, not how you spell gadget. What is with this chat and the English language? What do you mean gadget with a J? What is gadget? There's no jet. It's not how you spell gadget, Nate. Deary me, Mount Druitt back in action. That's New South Wales education there, ladies and gentlemen. The Storm get the ball from their own kick. Harry Grant. That's a penalty to the Cowboys. See, I come out of that timeout a better man. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. After getting into me and wanting me timed out, to be fair, we did want you timed out. But that's not just... These guys are mostly Australian. Nathan's an Australian, you know? We've got to treat the English a little bit differently around here. Oh, why are you challenging this, man? Who cares? Who cares? There's a surf rider will tell us his 90s costume next stream. Surf rider. He's disappeared probably because we just continuously tell him, please get on time with the stream. Jeez, I put my hand up for that one. Yeah, you will. 4 minutes 14 left, but the clock is stopped at the moment. Clock is stopped. Oh, Nath wanted you out and he spells gadget with a J. That is a good point, Seb. He was the one calling for your head. But we didn't time you out, so we're not going to time him out, but we still feel like timing you out just because of the English attribution there. Alright, so the Storm with this win, they're up by 18. The Storm with this win, that doesn't matter about points differential. We'll go to second, but obviously the Raiders and Warriors both play this weekend. Actually, so for Spice Girls. Oh, Clueless is a good one, yeah. Brenton, I think that we have a winner. Britney Spears, baby, one more time. Dress up like that. Don't be a cat. Stormer away here, Stormer away here, Stormer away here. Get the ball back onto the inside for Xavier Coates. The ball did not bounce to his favour. And Cowboys shot the ball, but it goes backwards and they got the ball. Surf Rider's having the time of his life in Ram Ranch. He's probably still in quarantine. Oh, did he get hidden, did he? I think we did. Wait, was it me? I don't hide people usually, but it wouldn't be surprising if it was me, to be fair. With a name like Seb, I wouldn't be calling anyone a cat, so... Jeez, Nathan and Seb, there's a little bit of flirtatious banter going on here. Third tackle, now 25. When Mount Druitt meets up with Norwich. It's a love story. There's a movie there. It's not 90s, but it's definitely a movie there. Fit tackle, 3 minutes to go. It's actually 4 tackle because he got the offload away, and that will hit Grassy McGrath, but the cap is still going. Now at the 50 on fit tackle. No, it's not fit tackle still. They get the offload away late again. John Bateman off to Dearden. Then they go out to Jackson Bolo. And Bolo at 35. 2 minutes 43 left of the dribble-a-thon. Got my money on Druitt. Do have my money on Druitt over Norwich. Actually, where would be a better place, like a more aesthetically pleasing place? Norwich or Druitt? I would probably say Druitt because it's Australia still. Second tackle at the 15. Where did the Cowboys go now? So they're lucky Manly lost yesterday. So they'll stay there for now. One of the Dragons or Dolphins will go above them after this next game. So they will minimum be in 7th. Then the Rabbitohs, if they beat the Raiders, they will also go above them. So the Cowboys would go down to 8th. If it is a draw between... If it's a draw between the... No. Yeah, if it's a draw between the Rabbitohs and Dragons, the Cowboys would actually go into 9th. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Cameron Munster, he'll get this ball to the 45 on the Cowboys side of the field. Minute 35 to go of the game. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. We'll be back in very much 5 or 10 minutes. 76% of people voted the Storm. A lot of Melbourne Stormers fan with 2 S's. Xavier Coates catches at the 25. He'll kick it over the top for himself. No, it'll be charged down, and Tyron Wishart picks it up, and he will score. Well, there's no 1 and 12 coming here for Cowboys fans. You are going to get done over by about 24 points because the Storm will score basically under the post, and they are going to kick this for a 38-14 victory. Victory, victory, 109. I don't even know if that's the words. 131399. Logan Borsak says, I heard the Bulldogs game is meant to have around the same numbers as the Good Friday game. Never been to such a big game. Was meant to head to the Good Friday game, but wasn't able to. Very excited. Yeah, well, I'm hoping that you beat them by 100. So when the Titans, whether we win or lose, Eels go last. It'd be very nice if you did that. Stop being selfish. Why are you stopping the clock, man? It's a 24-point game. Why are you stopping the clock? Why are we stopping the clock now, man? Sometimes it stops, sometimes it doesn't. Try confirmed. Take the kick and end the game. Thanks to your enthralling information link. It was very enthralling. I had a lot of fun reading it. Not necessarily a fun part, but I definitely did read it. Jared says, just saw my brother switch the Storm game and is now watching the Brisbane Lions game, and he's never watched AFL before. Well, it's about as exciting as Logan Ballsack's coming. It's about as exciting, this game right now. It's very close. Actually, how are the Lions going? How are the Lions going right now? I'm going to go look at the AFL scores. Hey, to be fair, we are watching a Melbourne game. So it makes sense. Oh, it's literally the start of the first quarter. Oh boy, 35 seconds left. For the love of all that is mighty, stop stopping the clock and end the game. For the love of all that is please. Cowboys short kickoff, and there'll be a knock-on from the Cowboys. 30 seconds to go. Can't shame a brother's excitement. Actually, that's exactly what Mitchell's doing, actually. He's actually shaming a brother's excitement. It's actually quite literally what he's doing, yeah. Harry Grant, Stefano Udo Ikamanu. 35, 10 seconds left here. Start wrapping it up. Storm going into second. The fraud alert is off them. They have scored 38, and they're not saying no right now. But all right, guys, there we go. We'll see you in the next game. Dolphins Dragons in about 5 minutes' time. Thumbs up, subscribe, bing, bang, boom. Appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.